Well, hi, everybody. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Kratom Gals. Before we dive in, I want to give a quick shout out to our vendor of the month, which is Happy Hippo. Their support helps makes conversations like what we do here possible. If you're looking for premium lab tested Kratom with fast shipping and a 100% happiness guarantee. I love that they do that. They're the ones to call on. They're a trusted name in the space. So a big thank you to Happy Hippo for supporting education and advocacy in the Kratom community. We just love that here. And now it's time for your favorite thing on Saturdays, the Kratom Gals. This is where you come for your weekly dose of real talk, real stories, and very relentless advocacy. Each week, we dive into the latest Kratom headlines, we react to videos, and we call out the vast amounts of misinformation by providing facts as well as a lot of passion. This isn't just a show, it's a movement to protect the plant that we all love. So, for those that are new here, I'm Madeline Sklar. I host this live stream series. We're coming up on 2 years of hosting this. We've been doing this on Saturdays since December of 2023. So we're going to have to plan a big celebration. And in addition to this live stream series, I also host the Kratom Stories Podcast. That's going to be 2 years old in December as well. And the Kratom Real Talk community, that's going to be 2 years. And oh my gosh, so in December of 2023 is when all three of these started. So I guess it just dawned on me. So we'll definitely have a big celebration for all of this. But Kratom Real Talk is our private community on School. It's literally become the one place where we can have discussions about this plant without censorship, because believe me, we're going to be talking about it today. We're being highly censored everywhere. And just a little bit about me, I've been consuming Kratom daily for the last 6.5 years. I suffer from very debilitating chronic pain. You can't tell because I feel great. And it's all because of a plant called Kratom. So it's been a real game changer for me. And that's one of the reasons why I'm a big advocate. And I also help educate people on the plant, because more people need to know about it and see that we do so great on it, that it helps us tremendously. I mean, do we look like druggies? No. Do we look like we're having addiction issues? No. We're using a plant that gives us better quality of life than, for me personally, better than when I was in pain management taking lots of opiates. So it just, every day when I take my Kratom, I'm still blown away. I'm like, I can't believe I just drink my little swamp water tea and I feel so much better. Now, be sure to catch the latest episodes of the Kratom Stories podcast. We have a new one. We'll watch a clip of it in just a little bit. They come out every Thursday afternoon. We do like a special premiere, although of course there's a wrench in things, so we're going to be changing it up for the next few weeks, but I'll talk about that in just a bit. But just a reminder that this live stream is for educational purposes only. We are not giving out medical advice here. We come here to share our personal experience with Kratom, and we also advocate for very responsible Kratom use. So let's bring up the gals. Hello, gals. How are y'all doing today on this very interesting Saturday?
Very
Good. I'm glad we're here. Thank you,
Very
Venus.
glad.
Yeah, thank you, Venus, for your YouTube channel. Venus saved today by letting us be on her YouTube today. And shout out to Christopher from Christopher's Organic Botanicals for hosting us on X right now. We're also on his X. I'm going to go repost that real quick so people know that we are live over on X. So yeah, it's getting more and more difficult for us to talk about a plant that is federally legal. I don't understand why it's getting harder and harder to do this. Some may remember several weeks ago, we were live streaming, but we weren't on my Kratom Stories podcast YouTube. We were on Christopher's YouTube, because we got a 1-week timeout. And then Christopher lost his YouTube because he'd been getting other strikes for a variety of videos on his account. So after he hosted our live stream, and it wasn't because of our live stream, but he had been getting in trouble with them talking about a plant. And so they deleted his account. So yeah, I woke up this morning to YouTube putting another strike on my account, and this time putting me in a 2-week timeout. I feel like I'm in school. I feel like I'm in grade school, and I'm being like talked to by, you're in trouble, Madeline. Go sit in the corner for 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm like, what the heck? What the heck is going on here? So we had to change things around a little bit so that we could still broadcast this live. And once my 2-week timeout's up, I'll make sure these 2 Kratom Gals this week's and next week's will go back on my YouTube channel. But I did set up a backup YouTube channel, but they won't let me live stream it just yet. So as a reminder, everybody, please join us on School. We don't have to worry about this. The problem is not everybody is ready to leave Facebook or some of the other platforms and come move over. But we're seeing more and more with this censorship problem that we need to have our own private space. And I know some people like to say, it's the haters, it's all their fault, blah, blah, blah. They're doing an attack on us. I have no doubt they're probably doing things, but also if you sit here and poke the bear, don't think they're not going to poke back. We focus on education and advocacy around here. What's happening to me on TikTok today, on YouTube today, and Facebook in the past 2 weeks is strictly AI and community guidelines. And I know this because I've been in the industry for 30 years, so I know what I'm talking about. And it's a shame that it's gotten this bad, but go to Kratom Real Talk over on the School platform because we can talk about Kratom all we want. We don't get in trouble. I'm just not sure we could we have live streaming capabilities on there now, but I don't know if I can make it in the same exact format. We're gonna have to experiment with it is what we're gonna have to do. I think maybe we'll play around with it tomorrow when we do our support group.
Yeah, I forgot about that, getting it in the same way.
Well, I would still have to have us here in StreamYard, and I know I could put, like right now, I could just start a live stream in School and add this to it, but the screen's not gonna, I think it's gonna mess it up a bit, whereas I want it to look, I would rather take like what I will do when this is done today, I will be able to download a copy of this off of StreamYard and I'll go upload it to School. So that'd be another place we can send people. And maybe I should do that. You know what? I should do that with all of these each week. I literally should take the video and upload it to School each week because I always felt like, hey, they're all on YouTube. They'll live on forever. But if I get one more strike, I lose the account. So that's how out of control this has gotten. So
that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah. I just literally just thought of it. So it's like, that's what we're going to have to do is, I don't even know what to say about this anymore. It's just getting worse and worse, y'all. I thought it was going to get better when the FDA came out back in July and said, Kratom powder is fine. We're only targeting 7-OH. I'm thinking, okay, the government's on board with our powder. Maybe the social media platforms will lighten up their community guidelines. Instead, they've gotten stricter.
Yep, I thought they would too. Yeah.
So I don't know what to make of it.
And even when confronted with the fact of the press conference and what was said, I wonder if that will change their minds in any way. I hope it does.
Personally, I don't think it will. I think a lot of it hinges on, what's going on in our country right now, the state by state and country or county and city bans that are happening and all the meetings. And I'm not a fan of coincidences, so it feels kind of weird with all this timing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there could definitely be much more going on here, and I guess we're just not aware of it. But with what's happening to me, it is community guidelines gotten stricter and AI. They're using AI now to do all this. It's all AI.
Absolutely.
So, and my YouTube thing, I can kind of see why they did it. There was something at the end. If I hadn't had that one literally few seconds of what I said, it probably would have been okay. I don't know. It's just, the thing is, they don't tell you exactly every time with all the platforms. They just say, you broke the community guidelines. You're not following community guidelines. And they just make this so general. Well, this is under regulated goods. And then a lot of times they put drugs. And on my Facebook ones, real big bold letters, drugs. I'm like, what did I say about drugs?
Me too.
So
right, so confusing.
It's very confusing. And welcome to everybody that's here. Thank y'all on YouTube that moved over to Venus. We appreciate that. We also got a bunch of people watching on X over on Christopher's channel, so thank y'all for that too. But we had to just kind of change how we did YouTube today. By YouTube, looks like it's doing the same thing it did last time. It looks like we're going live, my YouTube. Let me go over to it real quick. It's just sitting there like it wants to start. Yeah, it says waiting for Kratom Stories Podcast. So those of y'all in the comments there, where let me put another message in there. We are here. Yeah. So thank y'all for helping to move people over to Venus's YouTube. It's not going to stop us from advocating. It just makes it more frustrating. I had to go take my reishi gummies this morning. Usually my reishi gummies is later in the day to kind of chill. I had to take it like about an hour ago because I was all worked up. I was like so mad that this all happened. It's like I need chill. It's my chill pill. Isn't it nice that there's like functional mushrooms now that can be your chill pill instead of a pharmaceutical?
Yeah. I definitely want to try it. Another plant to help you.
Another plant. Well, I really like the ones I get is reishi, ashwagandha, a few other. I should have grabbed it. But one thing I'll talk about more later are the ashwagandha capsules from Mitraspec. Oh my god, these are so good. I've been using them all week. Each capsule is a gram of ashwagandha, and I've been taking one each evening. And I like ashwagandha, but all the ashwagandha I've ever done has always been part of a gummy or an all-in-one with other things. I've never had something that was just ashwagandha. Do y'all like using that one? Ashwagandha?
I'm a huge fan. Yeah, definitely.
Fan also.
Yeah.
Along with a few others, especially California poppy and kava. Ashwagandha and those other two, love them.
Yeah, I've had
Ashwagandha is
ashwagandha and
amazing.
kava, and I like those together in a lozenge, but I haven't had just ashwagandha, and I want to try it too.
Always in my cupboard.
Yeah, but I've never just had it by itself, and I'm really liking it. And what I like about it, it's like kratom. It's so subtle. It's not like bam, all of a sudden you feel like, whoa, I feel like it just hit me, like pharmaceuticals do. It's just nice and a little
I
relaxing, but
keep it
not
up there as an
overbearing.
anti-anxiety for natural anti-anxiety reliever. So I always keep it in the cupboard.
Well, that's what I like my reishi gummies. I'll have to go grab it later so I can show y'all. The reishi gummy that I like is it's so interesting because I don't really get anxiety, but as I get older, sometimes I do. And sometimes it just comes out of nowhere. And I'm like, what's the matter with me? So I'll go take a couple of my reishi gummies and I'll feel better so quick. Now, it
Nice.
could be psychological. I don't know. But every time I just kind of feel like, wait a minute, let me catch my breath. Why am I just overwhelmed and why am I feeling anxious? And I'll go take that and I just feel a lot better.
And mine gets so bad that it's debilitating and crippling.
Really?
So if I get, yes, I'm so blessed for periods of time that that's not going on. I don't know what exactly what instigates it to that point, but it's just there, and it's like a sense of impending doom. I'm just jumping in and out of my skin, and
Mhm.
I've been like that for a couple decades. I'm not sure because I don't remember like in my 20s or 30s that it being that bad. It would just be situational, like if something happened. But this that I have had for over a decade, it's it's pretty bad. It gets bad.
Yeah. And Aria, thank you for mentioning that ashwagandha should not be used daily. I wasn't sure, but what's interesting, some of the gummies that I've used daily that has it in it, like my reishi gummy, I've been taking those every like late afternoon, early evening for months, maybe 4 or 5 months now. But yeah, I think it's a tiny amount. And I used to do those remember when those Goli gummies, the apple cider vinegar? And I don't like I cannot stand the taste of apple cider vinegar. So when those gummies came out, I'm like, well, let's see if they really taste okay. And I tried them. I'm like, wow, these taste good. And it has this, the real apple cider vinegar with what do they call it? The Mother, thank you. I was about to say mom. I'm like, mom doesn't sound something
Well,
like that, but the
yeah,
mother. So it
apple
has the
cider
mother in
vinegar
it. And
with
I'm
the
thinking,
mother.
how do they do that?
Mhm.
But it has ashwagandha in it. I always thought that's so interesting. But I'm just wondering if it's like a really small amount. Whereas these capsules say ashwagandha root 20x extract capsule is 1,000 milligrams. So I tell you what, I do sleep better. I mean, I've been using these all week since Monday, I think, and I've definitely been sleeping a bit better. I definitely like get conked out a lot faster. I'm like, But I don't know if it's like, can I take this every day? I probably shouldn't,
Right.
so I probably won't. But I'm just, so for anybody that knows more about that,
Yeah, I definitely want to
so
try it because I get anxiety right before I get into a deep sleep, and I always wake back up. So it's constantly relaxing, almost falling
mhm.
asleep, and then I'm awake again. I'll sleep with my eyes open, they'll be open, but I'm not there. So I would love to try that because it helps the anxiety. Maybe it'll help the anxiety when I get to that deep sleep that I'll be able to continue. So I definitely want to check it out. So keep letting us know how it works.
Absolutely. I'll definitely keep y'all
Definitely.
posted. Todd's watching this over on X. Hey, Todd, good to see you. He's asking, how can I join in the conversation? Just in the chat. We already have enough of us on screen. We're going to watch some videos and talk about it. But you can just hang out in the chat. We are right now on X, on Christopher Organic Botanicals X account, and we're on Venus's YouTube because they won't let me do anything on YouTube for 2 whole weeks. I can't believe it. Hopefully 2 weeks from today, we'll be back to live streaming the Kratom Gals on my Kratom Stories podcast. But by next week, I should be able to do it on the Kratom. Is Kratom Real Talk? Probably should pull it up real quick and show y'all. But y'all be sure to subscribe because I have to wait. It says I have to wait 24 hours before I can live stream. So next week, and it looks identical. Let me show y'all. I was like, well, let me just set up another account. There's always a workaround. I've told y'all this before. I will always find a work. I can find a way around things. But okay, so this is how you'll know it's the right one. So same logo, but it says Kratom Real Talk and it's at Kratom Real Talk. It's youtube.com/at Kratom Real Talk. And I did a test by uploading a short video about watch the Kratom Gals, and it totally worked, but it will not let me live stream for 24 hours. So I would recommend for anybody that doesn't want to miss next week, go there, and I should be able to do it. And Venus, I think next week should have you live stream to yours as a backup.
Not a problem. That way
Yeah.
it'll be set up beforehand, the movie already. And this was simple.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But it's just frustrating. It's so frustrating. Lots of comments going on here. Oh, and
Yeah.
Todd, if you want to like hang out in the YouTube there's more activity in the YouTube comments. We don't get a lot of people. People watch on X, but they don't really comment much on X. But we're in Venus's YouTube today.
Oh.
So
The at is
anyway.
at Sienna GSD if you can't find it under Kratom Butterfly. Or yeah, KB Kratom Butterfly.
Can you put it in the can you comment that and then I'll put it up on the screen?
Okay, yeah.
Kathleen says, I'm listening to Madeline, the audio went away. I wonder why the audio went away. That's weird. Interesting. Lori says she is having some trouble now with extracts. I got them from Jordan to get off 70H, but I'm stuck now and he's so busy. Yeah, he gets busy. Okay, so FYI, next week's Kratom Stories podcast interview is a special edition one I did with Jordan from New Hope Botanicals, talking all about 70H and his crusade to help people, help educate people about 70H and help them transition off that to kratom powder. And yeah, he has like a whole system of like that he has found that works just from his anecdotal evidence, and that is extracts and then down to powder. But Lori, what I would suggest is maybe post that in school and see if anybody can help over in school. Do y'all have any thoughts for her? Like, because she says she's stuck now, and I know he gets busy. So
I'm not sure. I just don't know. Like I don't have the personal experience on that. But hopefully, well, Amanda would be able to help with that.
yeah, Amanda Rayner.
I don't want to say
help.
too much that, because I haven't quite experienced some of that part of it, but
Mhm.
I would just think to reduce and try to, ease down to, to titrate.
Mhm. Right.
Because it's a fine line if you're also needing it for your pain and then you think that you shouldn't be taking it and then you need to, move on to something else. I mean, I don't know. Amanda should do us well though on that.
Yeah. Venus, can you do not the full URL? Because I mean something for somebody to just write, to see it, like the name of your YouTube channel. And then like youtube.com/ and then like the @ and then the username. Cassie says to Lori, you can go on Suboxone for 2 weeks, then go to powder. We'll need a script for subs. You can do Teledoc.
Right, let me go look in there and see if I can figure out what it is. But
No, I
that's
see.
that.
Okay, I see. Yeah. So
Okay.
if anybody's trying to get to Venus's YouTube channel, just go to YouTube. It's @ So what is that? Venus. I know you use that username on X too.
Sienna GSD. That was my
Sienna
German
GSD.
Shepherd's name, was Sienna, and
Oh.
German Shepherd dogs.
Oh,
So,
I always wondered what that meant, but now that you've said it out loud, I'm like, oh, see, because when I see it all together, I just like, I don't really, I'm like, seeing.
right. I used to have just me and then the letter N, my GSD, and I still have it. I just don't use it that often. An extra account.
Yeah. Yeah. Lori says her problem is she bought a bunch of different extracts. She's not taking 7 anymore. Are you doing okay since you stopped 7, Lori? I hope that's starting to work out for you, but I don't really know how to best transition. I don't know, maybe Christopher has some thoughts. Maybe you could reach out to him. I just know Jordan's been helping a lot of people with that, a whole lot of people. Why don't we go ahead and kick off with a video? Oh, wait, there's MJ has a comment. She said, Lori, you can start with a couple of teaspoons of powder and maybe add a little extract to that and kind of trust switching. I think like most people say, you guys be on something strong so that they do the extracts. And I think you kind of lower until you get to the point you can do powder. I don't know, but everybody's different too.
Exactly.
But I can't wait for an interview to come out next week with Jordan because it's really good. I got a lot of great interviews coming up, y'all. I've been really busy interviewing a whole bunch of different people. And for anybody watching this that would like to be a guest, reach out to me and let me know. But yeah, Jordan Richard from New Hope Botanicals is next week. And then one of our newer community members, Caden, I interviewed him. So that'll come out in a few weeks. Amanda Rayner, super advocate. She'll be on probably later this month. And then Daniel Pita from Mitrespect. So I've had his wife Sarah on recently. Sarah Pita was a guest on the podcast. She's been on our Kratom Gals. So her husband, they do the business together. It's a family-run business, and really great interview with him. So I can't wait till all of these episodes come out. They're just really good. And thank you to Venus and Twinkle for helping me follow up with some of these people that have shown interest in being on the podcast, but then I didn't hear back from them. And I'm only like, I can only do so much. So I appreciate that, Venus and Twinkle. Y'all been a big help, like following up with some of these people and
You're
trying to see if
welcome.
they still want to
Twinkle
be
did
on.
most of that, so I appreciate that a lot. Because there's some things I can do and some things I know I'll fumble until I get
And
a little
that's
bit
the
more
same with
practice.
me, and that
Yeah.
worked out well for me to get my little script, just shoot them all out. So that was
Yeah.
okay. So that's how we work together as a team, and that's
Right, it works
great.
out
Yeah.
well. Yeah,
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely a great team. Well, let's play a clip of the latest podcast episode. The thing is, even though I can't post on my Kratom Stories Podcast YouTube, all the content's there. You can still, the new episode with Array of Light is there. Like you can still watch everything. You can interact. You can comment. You can do all the things. I just, for the next 2 weeks, will not be able to post a video. I can't do the premiere. Next week, literally, I can't do anything on there. It'll be a ghost town as far as seeing me post or do anything until 2 weeks from today. And because this happened this morning, I think like TikTok, when you're in the jail, is like to the minute. Like when they say 2 weeks, it'll be literally 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today in that morning. So hopefully 2 weeks from today, we'll be back on my regular YouTube. So, but follow us in school, join my newsletter, and then that way you'll always be in the know. So that's another reminder too. Join the newsletter. It's in the ticker, but let me find the banner for, I have just so many things in here. If you just go to kratomstoriespodcast.com/newsletter, that's where you can join up for our email list. I don't know why I can't find it.
And
This is
I'm going
just,
to grab a coffee. I'll be right
go
back.
ahead. This has just been one of those days where we have a wrench in everything because of censorship.
Definitely everything.
I know I
It's been
had
a
something
weird
for that.
day.
It has. Well, I know it's in the ticker there somewhere that, to sign up for the email list, go to kratomstoriespodcast.com/newsletter. So, but yeah, let's watch a clip. We'll watch the intro of the new episode with Araya Light. She's here live in the YouTube comments. She joined us on the Kratom Gals recently and is just a great fellow advocate in our fight to keep Kratom safe and legal. And she has a really great story. So I'm going to play a little clip of it for you, but you can always go back over on my YouTube channel and watch the whole thing. So this is episode number 82. If you don't know, we have 82 episodes of the Kratom Stories podcast. If you haven't seen all of these, you got a lot of binging you could do when you're driving, out walking your dog, at the gym, just at any time. It used to be an audio only podcast. So it was audio only and it's available. All of them are available on YouTube. They're also available in all the different podcast player, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, any place that where there are podcasts, you can go back and listen to the old ones. And then when I took a little break with this new season of episodes, I changed it up so that it's a video. You still listen audio only on Apple and Spotify, but there's now the video version. So, but yeah, lots of episodes. This is episode 82 with Araya Light talking about living with Ehlers-Danlos, and it's such a great conversation. So let me play a clip for you all.
For the first time, I didn't hurt. And I didn't get high. I didn't get stoned. I just felt a little bit of an awe feeling. It was relief. It was just relief of not hurting all over for the first time in like a decade. So I was like, holy cow. And we only took like an eighth of a teaspoon because we were, I had looked it up. You start small. He was a much bigger guy. Even that worked on him. And he's like, I kind of dig this stuff. It helped take the edge off for him as an alcoholic. And it just took that pain away from me. And so I'm like, I'm going to need a little bit of this. Like, I'm going to try this out. And he did, he shared it with me. And then I tried the red. And I, because of the Ehlers-Danlos, I'm naturally hyperactive and it's hard to sleep. And I refuse to take sleep meds. But for the first time, I slept like 6-7 hours straight.
I'm here with Araya Light, a fabulous gal I met who has popped into our Kratom Gals live stream in the comments from time to time, gotten to know her through that. Araya, I'm so glad you're on the podcast with us because it sounds like you have a really interesting story. She has a great story. So y'all go check that out. The full episode is over on our YouTube channel. It was a great interview. I know some of y'all have already seen it because I see in the comments y'all talking about how it was a great episode. Thank you, Venus, for putting the link. There it is. kratomstoriespodcast.com/newsletter. Anytime I can't find the link to something, y'all could always do that for me because I can put it on the screen. You're putting it in the YouTube to help others, and then I can put it on the screen. So yeah, great. Wasn't it a great episode when we did the premiere the other day?
It really, really was. And I just love learning about the different disabilities that it helps, and just all the different things and learning about those disabilities that when you look at people, you wouldn't ever think that they were suffering that much, even though we know that it is possible. And there's a lot of invisible illnesses out there that people don't know about.
A lot. Well, with my degenerative disc disease in my neck and back, here's what's so interesting. Back in pain management, which was a long time ago, because I've been taking Kratom for the last 6.5 years now. I started in early 2019. And when I think back to all those 9 years in pain management, I mean, I didn't use a walker or a cane or anything, but like I suffered and if you were around me enough, you'd see how difficult it'd be for me to get up and down. I actually could not stand up from a seated position anymore. I literally had to put my hands on and lift up, use my arms to lift up out of a chair. The worst is going to a public restroom, and it's not like you condition yourself like you have to go in the handicap, because, and still today, I forget sometimes because I do so much better, but still public restrooms is so low, and I still sometimes struggle to, but normally like I do so much better, but it still feels very invisible because I think when you don't have a walker or a cane, or you're not, you don't physically, like, I don't know, it's like that whole physical thing where, people just see you really struggle.
Visual,
It's like they
yeah.
think you have to struggle a lot. Now, I qualified to get a disability placard. I mean, I have the lifetime one. I have the blue one. I qualified for it. I mean, that's how bad it was. But I still always felt weird using it because I'm not using a walker or a cane or something where people see like, oh, that person visually has a handicap and that's why they're parked. Because, there's been a time now where people just assume people are always scamming that, right? And that, oh, they're just using somebody's placard, they look fine. And people just don't understand like invisible illnesses, and how if you don't look a certain way or don't walk a certain way, you must not have a disability. So, I mean, I'd have to really be hurting before I would use my placard. But then looking back, it's like, that I shouldn't have to worry about what other people think. But you do hear stories of people getting harassed
Well,
because
we
they just
do. There was
don't look,
Exactly.
you don't look
Yeah.
like there's anything wrong with you. But I don't use it anymore. I have it. And I tell you what, since Kratom, y'all, I don't ever have to, like, I have it and I have it for life, but I don't need it. I don't need it. I used to need it a lot.
You can walk to the
Trying to
door. You can
park,
make
or
it.
That's amazing. Kratom
yeah,
did that for
it
you.
was just so hard for me to walk very far. I mean, I still can't walk long distances, but I could pretty much park anywhere in a parking lot and I'll be fine. But I used to not be that way. And it was interesting that I didn't even think to try to get the placard for a long time. But then when my mom was, she was in this horrific accident, she got hit by a truck, walking, got hit by a truck. So I really, when you're like in something, everything goes out the window. And I didn't realize I was be standing over her, holding her hand and just standing while she was in her hospital bed in a coma, like all day.
Right.
And then when I was leaving, and I had to park real far away, and I mean, I could barely get to my car because then it would hit you as you leave the room. And then on top of that, my degenerative disc disease, I shouldn't have been leaning over and standing up and doing this and that. I mean, I'd be in tears trying to get to my car because it was so hard for me to walk and do anything. But the whole time I'd be in the room with her, I'm like hyper focused. I didn't even think about it. And then I told the doctor, I said, can I get a handicap placard? Like, I feel weird asking for it, but like, I said, I'm really struggling. Like, I just can't walk this distance, and I'm having to do all this stuff right now, and it's really hard. And, I was able to go through the process, and I started with the 6-month one, the red one. But I didn't ask for one for a really long time when I really deep down knew I should have, because I would push myself. But I think it's that stigma of like, well, if you don't outwardly look like, if you don't walk like there's something wrong with you,
Exactly.
then people are going to judge you.
Yep. And I know for me, my mom, she would always, before Kratom, drop me off at the front of everything as close as we could get. And it took her a long time to get used to after Kratom, because I would say, no, you can park us wherever you want, is fine. We can do it now. So that feels so good too. So, but I still want to look into the placard because right now, as my adhesions are getting worse, sometimes it's harder, and that way I'll have it. But when I found Kratom, I didn't feel the need to. I was like, park as far away as you want. We can talk walking up, so it's great. But yeah, I know what you mean. There is a stigma, and there is that worry.
I just love that I just don't need it. It's like, when I first started Kratom, I'm like, you get in that habit, because I did get better about using it over time, because I'm like, well, because here's the thing too. I would be hurting enough back in pain management days. I'd be hurting enough where thank God, I'd be like, thank God I have my placard, and thank God I can just park right here in the front. So number one, I don't have to walk as far. Plus, I've had 3 different foot surgeries on the same foot, so there was a time where it was hard for me to hardly walk, and lots of recovery time. Um, but I would always feel like if I put the placard on my car, I always felt like I had to walk a little extra, like I'm hurting, even though I'm hurting. I always felt like it was more invisible to the public,
Right. Like you had to make it
even though
everybody
They're
could
all,
sit or
yeah,
could
it's
sit.
absolutely invisible to the public. They don't know. I mean, and they don't want to know. They just want to jump to conclusions. So I've had
yeah,
mine many years. If I didn't have it, I wouldn't go. Well, there was also periods of time I was in a wheelchair and on a walker, in the boot, in the, you know, now I do try to go. There are some days that, and I don't get out much because of the walking, because I can't, it's very difficult for me. But there have been a couple of times that I had a really good day that I was proud of myself, and I told my husband, don't park in it. And he couldn't park far away. I still wouldn't have been able to deal with that, but I didn't have to use it, and I would let him park maybe 3 stalls away, and then I would do the walk. But I'm limited on walking time. But it's still invisible. It doesn't matter, and I don't walk normal. I have an abnormal gait. I don't There's nothing about me that looks normal. But one side of my body is lower than the other because of the scoliosis also pulling on it. It's just my legs are different sizes, but people don't look to see anything like that. They
Mm-mm.
don't know what's under your clothes, or they just don't know.
No.
And
right.
so I've only had one time that I kind of got somebody being a little, not too thrilled, but I've never been bashed or anything like that from anybody. But it is what it is. I mean, I hardly
Yeah.
go out of the house, so if I get out of the house and I need to use that spot, I'm
Yeah.
absolutely using it,
Right.
because I
Oh,
can't even
for
do a full
sure.
store or anything ever. I have to go in, get it. Like when I went for my granddaughter, I went in, I went down the aisles to get it. I can't even sit in there, or stand in there, rather, not sit, and tinker because I don't have enough leg time.
Right. Same.
But people don't know that.
Mm-mm.
They don't care to
Yeah.
know.
Let me ask a question, because, like, keep in mind, I haven't been to an orthopedic doctor in a very, very long time because, take care of myself with Kratom. But long time ago, I started kind of noticing, like, and I always wonder if this is scoliosis, but it's definitely more pronounced now. Does it like kind of make your, I guess the way
Shoulders
it's curved,
uneven.
does it? Because my
Mm-hmm.
my
Yep.
my shoulders are definitely uneven, and I do remember something with that very subtly back when I was still in pain management, but it wasn't really that. It was a little noticeable, but not much. I remember he dismissed it, but I haven't been to him in 6.5 years, and I
Yeah.
definitely see now, and sometimes I'll notice when I'm on camera, and I'll just notice, and you can see it's backwards. It's higher. My neckline is higher. You can see how my shoulder lays. If you really look, you can see it's opposite, because my everything I see on here is backwards. Is kind of like this curve, like this,
Yeah.
just a little slight,
And I
but
don't know if you guys have ever noticed. I mean, now I'm pointing it out. I try not to point stuff out. But when I have a V-neck on, it looks like I have a bar of bone going through one side of my neck, but not the other. And it's the skull.
interesting.
So I look like I look like I have a bit of protruding area on here, but it's actually the spinal disorders and the scoliosis. And then this is kind of funny. I probably shouldn't say it, but it's just so, I'm heavy. I have what would you call it? Your little roll down there. One side is hardly even there. The other side is what has the little roll. But it's that your body is being pulled. So what I'm saying is, when my stomach, even when I have the weight off, more weight off, and your stomach thins down and is flatter, I have one side that is bigger than the other side. So underwear, clothing, anything like that fits entirely different because of that. So, and I actually have leva scoliosis. So it's the left curve, and it's people can, I mean, it's noticeable, but it's not to the extreme that, extreme scoliosis is, where one hip is out, like one hip is more out than the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, not aligned and stuff. Yeah.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Now I remember when I went to a massage therapist, she would have me stand and then she would take a picture of me and it would show like the way my body was tilted, which side was higher. And she would take and pull my legs and kind of straighten me out and just, whatever was tight, loosen that up. And that helped me out a lot, but that's expensive. So, but
Well, I've definitely noticed if I do like a mirror and do a hand mirror to the mirror behind me and look at my back, like my shoulder blade on one side protrudes way out more than the other. And I can kind of see how things are curved a bit. And it makes me think like I really should go to an orthopedic. I mean, look, I definitely need new x-rays and MRIs. Last time I did x-rays and MRIs was 10 years ago. It was 2015. And with
Same with me,
degenerative disc
16.
disease, part of it is psychological because my first one was in 2005, I think. And that was the start of my bulging disc and where everything first started. My second one was 2012, and everything was a lot worse, and it was way more discs, and my neck was added to that because then all these bulging discs in my neck. Then 2015, I had a whole nother round, and everything was way worse. And so I just keep, because degenerative means it's just going to get worse. And I just
right.
I don't want to know how much worse it's getting.
Yeah.
But especially with Kratom all these years now, I feel so much better. I know that your MRI and x-rays can be different than what you feel. I remember the first time I had an MRI, the doctor said, I've seen people with MRIs as like they should be just in crying pain and they're fine. They say they're fine. And then
Right.
people whose MRIs don't look like much of anything and they're in debilitating
Can
pain.
be in, yes. Uh-huh.
So I remember him telling me that it can vary from person to person, but he looked at mine and says, yeah, I can see you're in a lot of pain.
Because some of the healthcare providers say that bulging discs, um, degenerative disc disease, other spinal conditions do not cause any pain. And I'll call them out anytime. How can you tell somebody what is causing them pain for one? I wish that they came out with a sensor that you could, that
Yeah.
we could wear that would tell a doctor exactly how much pain
Yes.
we're in, because nobody, and especially nowadays, nobody believes in my C2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is pretty bad. My lumbar 4, well, no, that would be the lumbar 3, 4, 5 is pretty bad. The degenerative disc disease, not so severe that I'm absolutely incapacitated from it, but it hurts me every day. I just got to the point that I tried not to talk about it too often because there is always judgment. You're judged if you
Yeah.
need a pain reliever. You're judged if you need kratom. You're judged now if you need 7-OH. And people look at you and they think you're absolutely fine. And that, or they're trying to dictate what you need and what you should take it for and how much pain you're in because you can sit in a spot and be a part of the world again or something.
Right.
Like we're doing right here. We've taken our kratom. We're able to do this because of our kratom, or walk in and get my little granddaughter a Christmas gift. I was just so
That's awesome.
excited about that because she'll be 18 months this Christmas, and she'll have joy to play with these things, but they don't understand what it takes for you to actually do that. I
Yeah.
was in a wheelchair. I don't want to permanently be in a wheelchair. That hurts my heart to even think about because there was too many years that occurred. I have been able to get my life to the point to have so much leg time, and I'm going to use that leg time for my babies, for my
Hmm.
grandchildren. And my son was only 3 when I was injured, and that was years of surgeries, recovering, physical therapy. It was just, I don't want my grandbabies to see me as anything else. I don't want them to know that I'm disabled.
Right.
Yeah.
I want they'll obviously know that my oldest grandson is 20. He's known the whole thing. He was born the year that I got my original spinal cord stimulator in 2006. Um, but I'm not showing that to my little grandbabies. I
I
don't want,
understand.
I don't
Right.
want, yeah, I just want to do the best that I can and be grateful for the days that I can do more. And tea has helped that for me.
Yeah, you can do that because of Kratom too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Imagine
Exactly.
I'd want to go to the back doctor just to show him, like if he says how bad, and I mean, I don't want it to be bad for you, a lot worse for you, of course, but just to talk about Kratom to him. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because if he thought you were in pain before, then, maybe he'll
Right.
realize that,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we got cause
Yeah,
here.
I mean, I really feel like I should go see an orthopedic doctor just to kind of just see how things are, even though I feel fine. Oh, did Venus freeze up? She looks like Venus, you froze. You're like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's
I
okay, man.
know, and I
Am I
need to get.
back?
We
You're,
probably
yeah, you're back.
Yep, you're back. We should both probably do that because I haven't been cared for in over 10 years either.
Yeah.
And it's one side of me needs to know so that I can continue to do the best I can for myself. The other side of me doesn't want to know at all because I feel it.
Right.
So I
That's
know,
me.
right. So,
I just don't
but
want to know. I don't want to know
I
like how much worse my back is because I feel okay. So in my
mhm,
mind, it's like, well, why should I go get new MRIs and X-rays to see? Because again, I have my previous three MRIs instead of X-rays, and I mean and y'all, I mean think about it. To go from 2005, I know 2005, 2012 is a bigger stretch, but I mean, if you look at my 2012, my 2015, that's 3 years, drastic change. And it really freaked me out more than
yeah,
anything. And
yeah.
it's like, do I want to see how much worse it looks on paper?
Hmm.
I feel okay. I can
Right.
certainly do more. I can literally stand up from a seated position so well, and I'm still blown away by that.
See, the tea relieves you enough for you to feel better and fine, but it's also a mask, and so is every pain
That's
medication a
true.
mask.
That's
And
true.
your body might not know how bad it is, like it's going to cover up
Exactly, and
to
I
a
do think of
degree to
that.
what's going on.
Yeah, and I
Right.
do worry, like, okay, by me being this way, what if it's but then again, it goes back to when I had the one in 2012 that really showed a lot of progression. That was when I went to a surgeon, my second surgeon, because the first surgeon was like, the only thing we could do is fusion. And I was like, and he didn't even recommend it. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. The second surgeon was a bit later, and I waited until I was like in just tearful pain, and I'm like, I got to do something, and I found like this big top surgeon in town, and no, he looked at all. He had me go get all new MRIs and X-rays, and so he would have been able to compare the 2012, 2000. No, this was 2012. So all he would have had was 2005 to look at, which was just one bulging disc back then, and he took one look at it and said to me, "There's nothing I can do for you. There's no surgery that'll fix you." And this is what he said. And I'm in pain management this time. This is what he says to me: "If I were you, I would stop all those pain pills and go swim and do yoga." And then he walks out the door.
Wow. And the thing
I was
is those
shocked.
things can be helpful, but especially nowadays, the past decade, they're wanting us to do all this physical stuff, which I do. I do the kiddie pool every summer. I'm in here and I'm on my day bed and I'm doing my leg lifts. I'm doing everything I can for myself. And then there's even times I'll do my between 8 and 12 minutes. I can't much get past by 12 minutes. But when I was up to doing 12 minutes several times a day, I mean, I was thrilled for myself. I just can't do it beyond. So, in other words, what I'm saying is I do those things for myself, but they're trying to tell us that if that's all we did for ourselves, we wouldn't have pain anymore. Almost always dismissing the pain. And sometimes, or oftentimes, you need the reliever in order to be relieved enough to get yourself through doing that exercise,
Right.
the movement or those stretches. And I do stretches at my kitchen counter several times a week. I will stand there, I will just try to get my legs back as much as I can, and I'll do um push-ups on it and do some stretch downs, because I do also need to hold on to something, or I would just absolutely biff it. But I do put that time in, and those things can very much help. But if you don't have any pain relief, how you gonna get there?
Exactly, and that's why
Yeah.
kratom has been a miracle plant. I'm realizing, like, I feel like this conversation is more like our Thursday and Sunday support group
Yeah, it
in
is.
school. So I think we'll get back to the videos, because I'm sure some people are watching this going, all they do is talk about their pain problems. For those that don't suffer with pain, so it just like dawned on me. Why don't we move on?
But they know that why we're taking kratom is because of we're suffering from those
100%,
pain problems.
Right.
So, but I
100%.
understand exactly.
Yeah, it's why we're able to do so much more and not be in so much pain because of a plant. So
Mhm.
there's a video. I'm gonna play a couple of TikTok videos next. There was one from Claudia Morandi that I just caught that she posted yesterday that I thought y'all might want to see. Um, she's done a few of these videos talking about 7-OH. Now, for those that don't know who Claudia Morandi is, she is one of the top people in chronic pain advocacy, and she's done an amazing job with her doctor patient forum that she's built a huge community. She's huge on TikTok, like 300,000 followers on TikTok. She's always making videos for the pain community. She doesn't take kratom, doesn't take 7-OH, but she is a big advocate for kratom. And I know people in her community come to her saying, I use kratom or I use 7-OH because they can't get their pain meds anymore. And so she made this video that I thought was really interesting. So let me play this for y'all.
Is a miracle drug if you suffer from chronic pain. It is a game changer. That's what people tell me. Now, I'm not a kratom consumer, but I have done my best to go out to testify to support the kratom industry. And 7-OH is not pure leaf kratom. I'm sure we could all agree on that. But 7-OH has helped people's chronic pain. Millions of people would lose access to their pain medication, and 7-OH was the only thing that helped people. And it can be purchased at a smoke shop. And while I'm not endorsing 7-OH, I don't think we should be banning 7-OH. I think we should regulate 7-OH because it does help. And what I'm seeing on this app is a whole lot of former drug addicts blaming 7-OH for their relapse. But why would you use 7-OH to begin with if you have a history of addiction? And why are the people with chronic pain, why do they now have to pay the price because of what the addict did? And why are we constantly singing this same song? The same thing happened with OxyContin, and it turns out most of those people were not prescribed OxyContin, but they blamed a doctor for OxyContin. Most people who abused OxyContin bought it or stole it. Very few of those people were prescribed. And the same thing is now happening again with 7-OH. So why do we continuously throw the baby out with the bathwater? Let's have a conversation about regulating it. But I fear it's just too late because media has already run with it. And now I'm seeing lawsuits suing kratom companies. But that's what happens with prohibition, because prohibition is poison. Thank you for supporting our efforts at the Doctor Patient Forum. Hang in there, folks. We're trying to get you help.
I love her.
She's
She
100%
puts it
correct.
the
Isn't
way
that a
she
great
puts
video?
it is perfect. It
Oh,
is.
100%, 100%. I love her message. She doesn't consume kratom or 7-OH, but she sees how it's helping her community members, and it paralleling so much of what a lot of us went through in the pain community. I lost my access to pain meds because of this war on drugs, because of the addiction problems that people had. I'm not sitting there pointing the finger, but that's what happened to me. And now it's happening to the whole kratom and 7-OH. You got people
Mhm.
that are misusing these products. It's like
And there's
you
always
can't win.
often a scapegoat. There always has to be a scapegoat, is the
Right.
thing. Now, she's absolutely correct. If you formerly had a issue with addicting to your medication or your pain pills, and then you would absolutely have to tell yourself, this is not something for me. Do not take this, you know, but other people shouldn't always have to pay the consequences of you not being able to regulate yourself and what you're consuming, you know. So uh I agree with her.
Yeah.
You know, my heart will always ache, and I am a very emotional person, so it will always ache and have compassion for people who can't stop themselves.
Mine too.
But other people that are able to shouldn't have to always be the bad guy in the story, because we are. We're always you know, we're just whining about our chronic pain. We just want to do this and we want to do that. And we're not even the ones that did all that. I
Right.
have never done that. You know, I never had a problem. I never overtook. I never gobbled 3 or 4 down, or took it every hour or every 2 hours. I mean, I have an umpteenth amount of, I don't know how much, here in my house still, of old stuff. You know, it just, and a person with an addiction, there'd be nothing. It's been 10 years for me. It's been 10 years and I still have old medications. So, you know, somebody who has something going on with them, and I'm trying to say it kindly, is there'd never be there. Would have been gone in the first month,
Yeah.
probably,
I saw my
you
old ones
know.
because, thank God I got Kratom working before I completely ran out. I I had no more prescriptions. They wrote all they were going to write for me when I got dropped. But I was determined to make sure I got Kratom working before I completely ran out, because I didn't want to have to go buy what I was hoping would be Oxycontin and Percocet on the streets, because fentanyl was in everything. And it was on the news all the time
Right.
back when I was going through this. I was like, I would be so scared if that's what I had to resort to. So I was being very careful to find this option that I was hoping would work. I still have bottles of some of my Oxycontin and Percocets. I actually was just going through it the other day because I saw them. And yeah, I mean, we're not sitting here and demonizing addicts, but an addict wouldn't have that still around.
Right. Yep. No, I don't have any I don't
I
have
mean, I
any
could show y'all.
opioid type.
I still got the
I was on a
40 milligram, but the 40 milligram Oxycontins. I couldn't believe how many of them I still had. But I was also having to taper. And so I was going from the 40 to the 20 to the 10s before, when I was switching to Kratom. So I still have a bunch of those 40 milligrams.
Yeah, and see, then you can keep it for if you ever need it. Now, I don't have anything like that
100%.
because I was on a patch the last 3 years before the patient abandonment. But muscle relaxers, I've got Clonopin, I've got Suboxone, I've got the strips and the tablets. I mean, if I had to, you know, it's here, and I haven't taken it because Kratom was enough to keep me from the edge. My full goal only is to never become suicidal from pain again. That is that's that's the
That's a
bottom
good
line.
goal.
That's the bottom
Very good
line.
goal.
Period. So if I need to utilize the 7.0, then I'll obviously I'll do that. But if I don't need it on a day, then I'm not going to take it because I haven't taken all that in there. I take it probably 2 or 3 times a year, a muscle relaxer. But if the kratom is easing it off enough, well then I don't need to. So then I get to keep it as my real emergency backup. You know.
Yeah,
So
that's good. Becca, do you have any thoughts? You've been kind of quiet. Want to make sure you have opportunity to speak if there's anything you want to chat about.
Yeah, of course. No, no, no. I was just listening to you guys. I don't have any, like back issue. I'm so surprised being that I hurt myself a lot in my old job, but I've been very lucky with my back, so I haven't experienced that. And just listening to like your guys's, your experience with that is very eye-opening and horrifying at the same time, and I'm just taking it all in. I was also
mhm.
an abandoned pain patient, as you know, and we discussed in my episode with you. So I've been there, and I totally feel for you guys, and like it just breaks my heart that had to happen to so many people. And then now that all of us have found our leaf and so many other herbs as well that we're basically under attack again from so many different sides, and it feels so unfair.
A good way of putting it.
I would suggest, though, because of the way that everything has gotten so tight the past decade, is if you do have any leftover medications, always keep them in their original bottle with your name on it, because otherwise that can end up being, if they're loose,
Oh yeah.
you can't necessarily prove, this is mine and I didn't get them from somewhere else.
Right.
They always remain in the original bottle.
Yeah.
And then if you happen to take something and have some drug test for some odd reason and
You
it shows
have your
up,
proof,
you
yes.
have the bottle. That
Yes,
Yeah.
because even though it's been so long, no, I'm not being currently prescribed, but these were still prescribed, and I am still taking it for the purposes of what it was prescribed for. It's just a safety net to always make sure that if you do, then to keep it together.
And also, FYI, prescriptions don't necessarily expire for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
I was just watching something recently about all that. So manufacturers were at one point were required to put an expiration date. That's why, a lot of different medications will like have this supposed expiration date. But over the years, I've heard this and from different sources, but it's all the same thing. It was something with military and how it was getting. I'd have to go look this up to find the exact, but something about how it was really expensive for them to always like restock when medications expired, and I think it was the FDA or whoever they talked to was like, it turns out like a lot of the medications like don't expire for 5, 10, 15 years and
See, and
stuff.
I figured if anything, they just become weaker, a little
A lot
weaker.
of a
'Cause
lot of them
most
do.
of
Yeah.
these are
Right.
15, 16, 17 years old.
Yeah. I mean, some
So yeah.
things are time sensitive, like antibiotics and certain things, but like a pain pill, I would imagine over time it probably loses potency. I imagine most meds do, but you just got to be careful that you're not taking something really old that could be more harmful over time. But it's just something like to do your research. But yeah, I mean, I got these pain pills that it's like I wonder if they're still effective, but I hold on to it because like what if Kratom stops working, or what if who knows what? I'd rather since I still have them, I'd rather hold on to them because you never know.
Yep. And that's why I haven't turned mine into the take back programs.
Yeah.
Especially now, because it's so hard to get any care at all. Like, what would I do that for? I'm not doing that. That's my emergency. That's my safety net, my safety blanket.
Yeah. So Lori
Comfort
says,
blanket.
I wish I would have gone to Kratom powder instead of 708. I didn't have the knowledge. I was too desperate at the time. Don't beat yourself up over it because it's all about knowing and learning. And it's okay that you didn't have the knowledge at the time. We're glad that
Of
you're
course.
getting the knowledge now. But, a lot of people just don't know. And, a lot of people hear about 708 and try it and they have a good experience with it until they don't,
Right.
or find out like, oh, what did I get into? No, I don't want to be taking this anymore. But it's, when I found out about whole leaf powder, 708 wasn't a thing 6 years ago. And even extracts, I don't think were much of a thing when I discovered Kratom in 2019. I'm sure that, Becca, how long have extracts? Has that been a thing for a long time, or did it just become more popular recently up until 708?
No, it's been around ever since I've been in the
Okay.
community since like 2013. But back then there were like two options. You could get extracts, which are like considered full spectrum because you're taking, say, a one chunk and boiling it down to an extract, basically, just to simplify that. And then there was the ultra enhanced extracts, which were just super potent enhanced blends, basically. And yeah, it wasn't until I'd say 2016, 2017 or so that the industry started getting more into like expanding on that particular product.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, let's get back to some videos. I did another unboxing. I know everybody loves unboxing videos, so I did another one this week. So I'm going to share it with y'all. These are always so much fun. I love doing these. They're fun. So let's see who's next. Today's unboxing day. I had to reorder my Christopher's Organic Botanicals. I was running super low on my green Vietnam is my absolute favorite. So yeah, let's see what I got. All right, so
That's what I
green
have today.
Vietnam from Christopher's Organic Botanicals. I ordered a kilo, so they send 2 packages that equal a kilo. So there's the first one. We pull out the other one. So they're identical. There's just 2 of them. So this is my absolute favorite from Christopher's, the green Vietnam. And one of the things I love about what Christopher does is he put the main alkaloids right on the front. Most Kratom companies only put the mitragynine and 7-OH on the front. And just FYI, 7-OH is a naturally occurring metabolite. It is in the kratom plant through the natural drying process, so it's normal to see that. It's usually a very, very tiny percent. Like on this package, it says the 7-hydroxymitragynine, 0.01%. That's normal with powder. The semi-synthetic products are completely different. They're like super strong. So just want to make that distinction for people that don't know the difference. But I love how they list all the main alkaloids right on the front, so you know exactly what's in here. So yeah, I'm excited. I got a restock of my green Vietnam. Thank you, Christopher, for getting this right out to me. There you go. Always fun having
Nice.
unboxing day. And oh, what do I have here? But some Christopher's Organic Botanicals. Yeah, I really like
Nice.
I really like how they put that right on the front. Only a few brands I notice have it on the front. Most time, and Christopher's the only one that puts all of those on there. That many on the package itself. Some brands put it on the backside, just the mitragynine and 7-OH. And then what a lot of companies do is just a QR code, which is fine because you snap the QR code and then it'll take you. Let me see. I know I got somebody here on my desk that has a
And I had a
QR
little,
code.
I had Christopher's this morning too. I had the green Vietnam with a little bit of white Vietnam, and I made it in my bottle for the day. So thank you, Christopher.
So Super Speciosa has, what they do is they put QR code. They do list the mitragynine and 7-OH. They put the batch number used by, and then a QR code that'll take you right to the certificate of analysis. And FYI, if anybody is interested in any of these brands, that they're all on my approved vendors list, and they all have a discount code available, Kratom Stories. They're all Kratom Stories on any of these. So, of course, Christopher Organic Botanicals, Happy Hippo, Super Speciosa. They all have different percent off, which you can get over on my website where I have them all listed. And who else? Don't I have one of these for Taunton Bay? Yes, there it is. I knew. Oh, I got to change it. Hold on. I got to change the code back to it's now Kratom Stories. Thank you for doing that, Becca.
Yeah, absolutely. And either one will work just in case somebody sees the older videos or anything.
Okay.
I added them both, so we are all good. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And what do I have here but some Taunton Bay? I got them all on my desk here. But yeah, Taunton Bay, 15% off with code Kratom Stories.
Absolutely.
And
I really like that red. Red starts with a B. How do you pronounce it again?
Bentuanji.
Bentuanji.
Yeah, that's how I say it. I'm probably not. Every time somebody would call, they'd say it a different way. So I just call it Red Bent.
And 15% off the XP Botanicals. I love these gummies. They are so good. And I just had one a little while ago. They're big. Yeah, so I got
That's awesome.
all the different brands that I like that I personally consume. I made sure I got a coupon code from each one of them so everybody could save some money too if y'all are interested. So you can check out my entire list. Go to kratomstoriespodcast.com. I have a vendors page or just put /vendors, and then you can see all the different companies on my list. I've really grown that list, but these are all companies I've researched, vetted myself. I purchase from, I use like that because that's how I roll. And then ask for discount code. And thank you for Becca to getting us a code too. It took a while, but we got we got a discount for everybody. Yay! I love that because I want everybody to save a little money if they can. I think that's so awesome. So Lori's
especially these
asking,
days.
what's the strongest powder? Well, for me, it's usually like a super green, like a high mint super green. You know what? Okay. And speaking of, but would that be correct, Becca? It's usually like, aren't greens and whites are stronger than reds, right?
Just in my experience, as far as mint content goes, definitely greens or whites. You, yeah, usually a green or a white tests the highest, and I always think that's interesting. But it does make a lot of sense when you look into the science on the different alkaloids.
Okay, so like Happy Hippo will put, a lot of these companies will put the mint on the package, and I've been two greens I've been really liking is the Happy Hippos, their green Borneo, and on the back they have a thing at the bottom that says, and it says the mint is 1.61, and that's pretty high for a mint. The highest ones I've been using has been the green Vietnam from Christopher, although his new batch is a little bit lower. Christopher, I've been meaning to ask you, your previous one was, I think, 1.61 also. This is 1.46, which I know happens because, it's a plant and different batches, they'll all be different. But the Happy Hippo Borneo, I really like. It's a higher mint. So that I always feel like that's stronger for me. And then the other one from Happy Hippo is their Green Sula. I really like this one. This one's 1.62. This is a really high one. So it's their kind of a small print, but it's Sublime Hippo, also called Green Sula. So, but I also think it's just trial and error, just trying different ones to see how they affect you. It might affect you differently.
And always look back, like you said, since the mint level was different, look back because they usually will have it on their website what it is before you order it. And that way you can check it out.
But if they don't, you can reach out to them and ask.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the thing too. Not all companies, you know what? A lot of companies I've noticed, not a lot, but some of them will actually not really have it on their site. So you don't know till you order it, unless you can go find their certificate of analysis on their site that shows the test results, or just reaching out to them. But like Super Specioso recently updated their website where it will show whatever they're selling. There's a pull down menu you can click. Let me see if I can show that to y'all. And it's really cool because it'll show you like with the current is based on the current batch, which is most likely what you would receive. But of course, things can change. But the batch you receive, that what it currently is, and if something newer, I think they added, because I don't remember it doing this before. But I really like that they're doing this. So let me pull this up real quick so I can show y'all. But always, if you're not sure, always reach out to the company and ask. And if you can't get their customer service, then rethink where you're buying your Kratom from too, because you should always have good customer service. So I'm on Super Speciosa, and just FYI, you can get 20% off anything in their store, Kratom Stories. Okay, so I'm gonna just let's just go there. I want to go to something I know I always get. Let me see. I'm going there. Green. Get to one of their greens I like. The green Malay, I have that one. So every site's different, but I know on Super Specioso, you come over here, and this is for any of their products. I'm going to go right here to where it says lab test. So you tap on lab test and it opens it up. This is going to show you based on the current batch. So like this one, the mitragynine level is 1.17. So see, I know, and this has been through trial and error, I know that I do better with a higher mit. But these do change. And it says right here, the data above is for 100 grams, 3.5 ounce as of November 8th. So as of today. And it says the lab data test show reflects the current batch available. Stock may vary. But maybe I then go to one of the other greens. And so I may know that I do better with a higher green. So let me go to the green Main Da, which is probably going to be higher. and it's 1.45. It's just figuring out what works for you, and you may do better with a higher mitt, a lower mitt. I know reds are typically a lower mitt, and I think that's why reds don't really help me very much with pain, because they're just traditionally a much lower mitragynine level, and they don't really
Which is
relax.
incredible because a lot of people think that the red is what helps them the most.
Hmm.
And it doesn't help me the most, but in the evening sometimes I'll have it, especially during the winter times. But I'm like you, Madeline, I just like to stay with the greens and especially the Vietnam. Um, but the the red mitts are lower.
Yeah,
So
they're typically lower,
just
although I found
yeah.
a higher one that I've been liking. Also, Lori, I know you mentioned you're confused with, because mid-level and then the milligrams and powder is usually grams. It is, I was very confused for years. I still
Hmm.
don't quite understand the conversion between extracts and milligrams to powder. But I do know this. I know Todd Underwood, one time on our X chat, when we were used to do our Thursday chat on in X Spaces, I remember one time he was explaining the conversion. I know Chris first talked about it in some of our chats, but it also can vary between extract companies and your powder. So it's not always an exact thing. Becca, do you have a way of explaining that? Like the whole, if somebody's trying to go from powder to extracts or extracts to powder, and how to understand the conversion between the two?
Yeah, and the easiest way to look at that is like say with I think Christopher's bag, you said there was 1.6 or 1.2. You just take away that point, and it's like 12 milligrams per
Oh,
1.2%. 1.6 would be like 16
really?
milligrams. So approximately, like a lot of companies, for example, carry 10 milligram mid extract gummies. And while that is like technically close to um, 1 gram of powder, what you would expect from 1 gram of powder, extracts are very different because they don't always contain the same ratio of the different alkaloids. So you can have a very different experience with extract compared to plain leaf. And that's something that I always tell people to keep in mind anytime that they're looking at that, even with the conversion.
Because it's not always going to be full spectrum extracts too. Some are, some aren't.
Absolutely.
I know it can get really confusing. One thing I've found, I've never had a red that really helped my pain very much, and it does not make me relax or sleepy. I wish it did, because people rave about it. I'm like, I want to be sleepy with red kratom. But Happy Hippo has one I've tried. It's called their Slow Rainbow Hippo Slow Strain Blend, and so look how high for a red. It is 1.3 mid. I've never seen a red that high. So I've been experimenting with this one, and what I do in my evening dose, I just my normal 2 teaspoon. I've been at 2 teaspoons for every dose for I'm kratom 6.5 years in. I've been doing the dose for almost as long. As when I first started, it was more like 1 to 1.5 teaspoons. Over time, I got to 2 teaspoons. I have never needed more than 2 teaspoons all these years, and I take it 4 times a day. I'm at the same dose. I know not everybody's the same with that, but what I'll do with my 2 teaspoons, I'll usually do 1.5 teaspoon of my regular green and do like a half a teaspoon of this. If I just do this only, I don't get the same enough pain relief. Um, but sometimes I wonder, how they say when you take a higher amount of powder, that's how you get more like, how they say with kratom, low dose is energy, high dose is sedative. I don't ever feel any sedation with kratom, but I also can't take more than 2 or 2.5 teaspoons. So I don't know.
And well, I take 7 grams, and I do feel a little bit more relaxed, but I don't feel anything like a sedation type thing. So,
I definitely have a ceiling as to how much I can take. And with the powder, is finding like what works for your pain level if you're using it for pain. And when I found my 2 teaspoon dose like perfect pain relief. If I take more, then it doesn't make it better. And then, if I take too much, I feel nauseous and yucky. And if I take less than 2 teaspoons, I don't get enough pain relief. So for me, it's like I know that perfect amount. But I'm wondering for nighttime, like, what can I do to get that nice, relaxing, sleepy thing that people rave about with their Kratom?
I don't
Especially with
know, 'cause
red.
I don't get any of that with anything.
I don't either.
I don't
Me
even get it
neither.
with cannabis with the indica.
You
And
know?
it drives me crazy because I'll see some people and they're just sitting there all relaxed in the couch, and I'm like, I can't. Why can't I be like that?
Where's
But I think
mine? Yeah.
I think when my pain gets better, my brain automatically wakes up. So since it's helping me, I want to eat. I want to
Yeah.
do stuff. So Maggie May, sorry.
I thought that was Maggie. Hey, Maggie
Mhm.
May coming to visit us.
Yeah,
Let's get to
they
some
all
more
come
videos.
visit.
Let's watch some
Yeah.
more videos because there's this week what I really had for us to watch is just a lot of news stories. It was so interesting how I think it was last week there weren't that many, and this week is so many of them. So there's been some really interesting ones all over the country, and I find it interesting that more and more these news stories are 7-0. The conversation is 7-0, but of course they say Kratom, but it's all because of 7-0H. So this one is out of Missouri. And the title of this one says Missouri warns consumers of health risks associated with 7-0H products. So let's watch this. And I haven't watched any of these, so we're going to watch them brand new together.
Tonight, the Missouri Department of Health is warning people about a drug they say is 13 times stronger than morphine. It has several names like 7-OH, 7-hydroxy, and synthetic kratom. New at 10, 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski is here to tell you what to look out for.
Mike, it can be really confusing trying to tell the difference between regular kratom and 7-hydroxy. That's why the health department wants people to know what to look for and know what to do should someone take too much.
From January to September, the Missouri Department of Health says the State Poison Center received 47 reports of exposures involving kratom or 7-hydroxy. That's nearly double the number from last year.
The plant kratom actually contains over 25 alkaloids, which are chemicals that interact with the human body. The most potent and addictive one that hits our opioid receptors is 7-hydroxymetragenine or 7-hydroxy.
And what are you seeing?
Did y'all see that said dopium? Is that a new one? Look at this. Dopium.
Wow.
I'm just baffled.
Even with everything
too.
that's
That
coming
they
out,
can
they
do
still
that.
do
They're
this.
still
Yeah.
doing it. Yep.
You know, those like Seven Heart, the groups, why aren't they doing something about that? This makes the whole 7-OH industry look bad. And then all of that affects our kratom industry. Dopium,
Yeah, this
just like the
something they
Roxys,
should
just
definitely
like
look
the
into.
Perks.
Yeah.
That's just wrong. And then why are retailers allowed to sell it? Why do the state regulators allow like is it any wonder this is all imploding now? But dopium?
I was just gonna say, like, better question, like, why doesn't the retailer look at that and be like, this seems like a bad idea?
Because of dollar signs,
Right,
because
right.
they're motivated by money.
Exactly.
They're
Because you'd
motivated by
think
money.
yes, they are, and you'd think it would stop, or where it would stop there. And I do believe that Seven Hope and the Heart, I think they are trying to take care of stuff like this because they also don't
Because
support
it-
all the drug games.
It-
But
I mean, I don't know what
Like,
they're
how can-
doing, but it's like it's being condoned by the
That-
industry if nothing's
from-
being done.
right,
So why
it's
is it on
still
the
not-
shelves?
Right.
It's probably trying to figure out who to contact about these things too. You know what I mean? I'm wondering if
And
you
could
can
they
actually
actually
contact them.
shut down? Could they actually shut down or have a business change that in the first place?
But let's think about for a moment. How does a product get on the shelves to begin with? Doesn't it have to go through some kind of state regulation or doesn't it have to go through something? Like you can't just, let's go create a product, let's call it dopium, let's have it manufactured, and let's just go find places to sell it for us. I mean, I don't think it's as simple as that. I don't know what the process is, but I imagine there's a whole regulation process through retailers in your state, right? Or something like that.
You'd think there was.
I don't know what
You'd
the
think.
actual process, but I mean, it still has to go back to someone or some company. So shouldn't they be finding out who it is and getting them out because it makes their industry look bad?
It does, but a lot of these like no name weird
I know shell
name,
companies and stuff.
yeah, they're the shell companies. They're the people that are not in the industry that are trying to get a leg in the industry and are doing us all a very big disservice. Honestly.
Definitely a
Yeah.
disservice.
It just I just can't believe there's a product now called dopium, and look at that, 750 milligrams. Okay, I'll put it back on. When I saw that, I'm like, what?
That's
What's with these?
crazy.
What's with these?
750 milligrams. I wonder what the
Yeah, me
instructions
too.
are.
I don't know. We might have to go look that one up to get more info.
And what are you seeing if people use too much of this product?
The most extreme example is that someone can overdose. 7-hydroxy can hit the opioid receptors and cause what we call respiratory depression. A person can stop breathing and can die.
Other symptoms include vomiting, rapid heart rate, and seizures. The Department of Health says if you have any of these symptoms after taking 7-OH or suspect overdose, to call 911 and use naloxone or Narcan.
One thing that is really remarkable is that this product is sold but has never been officially studied in human beings as an isolated compound.
It's also unregulated and can be sold at convenience stores. The toxic product is giving a bad rap to businesses like CBD Kratom, who do not sell 7-OH products and want people to know the difference by looking at the wording on the labels.
They say hydroxy, which is another way of saying 7-OH, or they look like those lookalike products. The natural leaf kratom products do not look like that. Natural leaf kratom products are, generally speaking, labeled appropriately and say what the ingredients are.
Craig Katz with CBD Kratom says they want to see more regulations across the country.
We would prefer that 7-OH products do not call themselves kratom at all, because they are not really kratom.
Again, if you suspect someone overdosed or is showing those symptoms, call 911 and use naloxone, also known as Narcan, right away.
Oof. Wow. These stories.
That
Yeah.
is just crazy.
And Lori's making a good comment that
Milligrams.
milligram amount is probably for the whole bottle. I'm
Yeah,
sure that would be
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
But it's still
It's a little bottle.
a large amount.
Yeah, it's just a tiny bottle, isn't it? It's about like that big or something.
It looked like it was small. Man, that's a
And
crazy
you'd assume
story.
that has to be 3 or 4 servings minimally in it. The thing is it's difficult without a dropper to get out the proper amount, and people want to just take the whole thing.
Right.
Right. And then
And
you go from
also,
finding. Oh, go ahead, Timko.
I'm sorry, Narcan doesn't work for regular tea.
No, but they say
doesn't have,
they
but
think
they
it does
wanna
on
say it
7-OH
does.
though.
They think it does, right? But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
And at what point would you? But see, then 7-OH is also supposed to have a ceiling. So there's just so much more I need to learn about it.
I
Because it
know.
really, because it just, there's so much going on. First, it was a full opioid receptor, full agonist, and it's a partial. Then, there's
Yeah.
just so much to learn, and I just hope it keeps getting researched so that we could know as much as we can to continue
Yeah.
to make the informed decision.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, exactly. And then next up, probably been hearing about Kentucky. The governor of Kentucky has been, wanting to ban, I guess 7-OH and kratom, or I think they're trying to ban all of it in Kentucky. Let me play. I got two news stories. Well, I got a short news story, and then there's a press conference from the governor. So let's watch these so we can learn more about. I mean, a lot of this is so that we can learn more about what's happening around the country, and just know while these may not be where you live, I mean, none of these today are where I live. This still affects our entire community, and this is why advocacy is so important. So this is Kentucky. So this news story says Governor Bashir moves to block access to a form of kratom. So that makes it sound like it's just 708. So let's play this, a short news clip.
Kentucky Governor Andy Bashir announces new action to combat addiction. He's directing the state to classify 7-OH, a kratom byproduct, as a Schedule I narcotic. This classification will make it illegal to sell, possess, or distribute the product. Officials say products can be sold over the counter containing concentrated and possibly dangerous amounts of the substance. Once final, this action will allow local law enforcement to start removing it from stores.
They're showing regular kratom. Do they know that in this news story? I mean, it's so common for these journalists to get it wrong. These are all kratom leaf products.
Shelves.
Okay, that was it for that one. No, there's still more. Sorry, there was still more. I thought it was Dari, the other one.
Lives of our people and to continue to make progress in our fight of addiction is worth it.
Now, if you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, the Kentucky Help Call Center can connect you to treatment. Just call the number on your screen right now at 833-8KY-HELP.
Okay, that was it. Okay. So it sounds like they want to ban 7-OH and synthetics, but let's show kratom powder on the shelves.
So
Yeah.
then does that extend to the extracts also? So is it just is tea safe, is kratom safe, but not 7-O or the
Don't know.
extracts, or is it just 7-O? Right. See, I don't know either.
It's
Well,
confusing. It's confusing, and it's going to be confusing for the public because they're talking about removing synthetics, but they're showing regular leaf kratom. And people,
because in a way,
it's
7-O is an extract.
but it's perpetuating that kratom is all the same. The 7-OH and kratom is all the
right.
same.
And that's the most important, is to let people know that these are not the same. Well, none of
Right.
them are the same, because even an extract isn't the same. 7-O is not the same. The difference between the extract and 7-O is not the same. So they're all separate.
Yeah.
They're all different.
Yeah, and I think a lot of news stories are getting that confused. They're seeing that it does occur naturally in kratom, but they're just kind of lumping it together with the synthetics. And like, I think even Dr. McCurdy has come out and said, like, it's very different. Like, that they don't even in some of the 7-OH products, that there are different byproducts from that extraction method or whatever they use, and it's not the same as what's in natural leaf. And so
Right.
yeah, I think a lot of news stories are just getting that confused, and it's causing a lot of confusion and stuff with the public as well.
Absolutely. And so the governor did a press conference on Wednesday talking about a variety of things. They just had that huge plane crash that happened that was just horrific. So I think I just know that there's a segment in this press conference where he talks about kratom and 7-OH. So let me play this part for y'all.
A lot of people, after seeing that plane crash, are thinking about safety. We're taking an additional step today to make Kentuckians safer. We have seen 3 straight years of decreases in drug overdose deaths, thank God. Last year, we saw our overdose deaths drop by 30%. We're going to keep protecting the lives of our people. That's why this week, my administration is taking action to classify a dangerous form of kratom as a Schedule I narcotic. This will make the sale, distribution, and possession of this form of kratom illegal. This is a powerful and addictive drug that has no place in Kentucky. Because of this action, law enforcement and regulatory agencies can get this drug out of communities. Earlier this year, I took the same step with a drug called Designer Xanax. Every step we take to help protect the lives of our people and to continue to make progress in our fight of addiction is worth it. For those struggling with addiction, please remember there's help. Please visit findhelpnowky.org. We care about you. We love you. Help is right there. Just have the courage to make that call.
Have the courage to make that call. That's okay. Let's just
Sometimes it
remove
seems
it.
like they just want to make an issue out of having something that they are going against, because we've heard nothing about fentanyl. It was nothing but fentanyl for years. Contaminated fentanyl, carfentanil, fentanyl killing people, people dying every single day, and then that dropped off of everything too. And now it's just 7.0. It seems like they just want something to go after and show the world that they're trying to do something. But I mean, have you guys heard anything about fentanyl? I haven't heard nothing.
Not
Like,
hardly anymore. Not like it
and you
used
can't
to.
say that the cartels and stuff ain't out there working,
It's
doing
always
their
about the next
thing.
big thing.
It is. You're exactly right. It's the next big thing to make headlines. And
Well,
put
and the
that
media is
story
going to
and
do whatever the heck, like whatever's
yeah,
going to, you know, it's
that's
like these
right.
cycles, right? Because so many times there's things going on in the world we have no idea about because the media focuses on one thing and it
And the
becomes a
same
hot
with
topic.
extracts. All we heard for a minute was about extracts, and people were spending thousands a week or hundreds a day, and people were dying, and people were this, and people were that, and it was big news and all of it. And now there's nothing about that either.
Yeah, exactly. So next up is Toledo. There's been a couple of news stories out of Toledo. I mean, they say in their headline synthetic kratom. So it seems like these are all mostly gear. But going back just a moment to Kentucky, like, did he say, I mean, he said, he kept saying today, but like, are they taking it off the shelves and meat? Like, they should really give people time because, like, okay, and then we love you. Here's where you go get help. But shouldn't you give your people time?
You'd think.
I mean, that's like saying, hey,
By
let's
not giving them time,
let's
they
be
could
like
be
Florida.
writing
Let's just
Suboxone clinics instead. Don't give them time. Make them not
right,
have no way to help themselves or reduce real fast or,
yeah,
titrate.
right.
Boom, right into the clinics.
It
And
really
the
makes you
doctors do the
wonder.
same
It
sometimes.
makes you wonder.
Yeah,
You
it
can't
makes
even
you
believe
wonder.
nothing. I
No,
mean, it's just all something else going on that we don't get to know about fully.
exactly, exactly. Not to sound like we're just a bunch of all about these conspiracy theories and stuff, but it's just like, what's going on here? Why? Okay, if it's a
Right,
problem, give people time to get off of it. Give time to get it off the
right.
shelves instead of like in Florida. Well, as of midnight tonight, we're done with this.
And
We're-
even with the vendors, give that before they come in or it's either going to be the clinics, they're going to need Suboxone, or they're going to be in jail and become a
Yeah,
criminal. And there's
yeah,
just no time. And then the businesses too, while I don't focus, focus more on the people than the businesses, but they could be boom if they don't like wipe it right that moment, they're done too.
yeah.
So I mean,
Just give people time.
my
You
concern
know,
is for the people.
for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. Yeah. All right, this next one. Okay, so I'm going to show two of them that are Toledo because apparently they had a city council pass something. So let's see what this is.
Toledo City Council is cracking down on kratom sales tonight. Earlier, council voted unanimously to ban synthetic kratom products. The ban does not include kratom in its natural leaf form, as council says they want more research.
It's not going to be kratom in its leaf form, but let's just make sure we're showing leaf kratom the whole time we're doing the news story. I mean,
Right.
does that make sense?
Before taking further action, the move follows Governor Mike DeWine's call
They don't
for
even
a
show them.
statewide ban earlier this year.
Oh my God. So they don't show any synthetics. The whole thing was kratom powder, even though they said it's geared for synthetics. This kind of reporting
think they
is
love to have confusion. They like to instigate the confusion and the chaos.
terrible. It's terrible. I mean, that's not journalism.
Right.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's not too much to ask to have some clarity.
Right. I mean, it's just confusing the
Absolutely.
public. All right, so this is the other one from Toledo. It's the same news station. So this is another one. Let's look at that, drug prevention.
Also tonight, it is a drug that has been under the spotlight the last few months in the Glass City. We're talking about Kratom. Last night, Toledo City Council made its move banning the sale of the synthetic version of the drug, but the leaf form is still legal. That leaves one question. What's the real difference? Steve Iwanek, he looked into it tonight.
I'm finally glad to see something happen because at this point it would kind of level the playing field for me.
In East Toledo, Edward Kleppinger runs 632 Main Street, a tobacco shop. For years, he's legally sold Kratom, both the natural leaf and synthetic versions. That's until controversy hit.
When the health department came out with its proclamation in August, at that point I took all the enhanced Kratom off the shelves.
Back in August, City Council weighed banning Kratom altogether. The debate was heated, some calling it addictive and dangerous, others saying it helps people cope with pain or anxiety. This week, Council voted to ban only synthetic Kratom.
This is really about getting this out of the hands of and removing access in so many different places throughout our city.
But what is the real difference between synthetic Kratom and the natural leaf? Dr. James Jones with Team Recovery says it starts with the plant itself, found in Southeast Asia. Natural Kratom contains tiny amounts of a chemical called 7-OH, enough to cause mild pain relief or energy. Synthetic Kratom, he says, is a lab-made version that supercharges that chemical, turning it into something far more potent.
That is the part that when you exaggerate that small little less than 0.5% and make it, now it's 10 to 20 times more potent than morphine.
Synthetic Kratom often shows up in gas stations or corner stores, sold as powders, pills, or even candy. And that's what worries Jones the most.
That's the scary part because you don't know about it. So when you take it, no one knows it's 10 to 20 times more potent than morphine. It can look like a gummy bear.
So is the ban enough? Jones is not convinced.
Let's just ban it all until we can safely, under the guidance of, let's say, doctors and people that do this, of, okay, now this is what we can allow.
Okay, typical recovery center person to say
One
that.
minute it's 13 times more potent, the next minute it's 20 times more potent, and other times it's 50 or 60 times. So they're misleading.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
more potent. I say it would be more potent because it offers pain relief that Kratom doesn't always offer me. Kratom offers me the whole shebang and the absolutely better than nothing and not having anything for relief.
Yeah.
But it is a little bit more on the milder side, so the 7-0 is absolutely, stronger, but for the amount I take, it's not even 1 times morphine. So the only way it could get that strong, you'd have to take so much.
Right.
And that's the thing. That's what I think is so misleading about them constantly saying it's more potent than this or that. They're talking about binding affinity to your receptors, not like there is nothing. And my doctor literally explained this to me about a different medication group, but like it goes for everything. It's about binding affinity and there's nothing that's more potent. It just means that you need to take less. It's just this amount is equivalent to this amount of this other medicine. And that's how he explained it to me. And it just really sticks in my craw when they do that whole, it's whatever potent.
Well, it's kind of like this talking point that's gone around. What was the times? How many times did they say? 12 times? I can't remember the number.
Yeah, 13. I think
13 times.
on this one.
I'm going to look into that because it's this talking point everybody uses now that it's an interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're saying binding affinity. I'm going to do a little research because
I did too. I wrote it down again too. I'm working on a video many years ago on the binding affinity with, I believe it was Oxycontin was the topic at that time, and it was about abuse deterrent formulation. So I'm going to go back and review my blog because I actually wrote that and did citations off of who was the information provider. But I just wrote that down because I want to go back and study it too some more. And that's just it. Then we need to also circulate that information because I know it is not strong like that.
It-
Now, if I took
yeah.
more of it, would it relieve more or do more? But it also has a ceiling. So if
Right.
we're
Right.
taking it as we would and respect it as we would anything else that we're supposed to respect that we take into our bodies, then it's fun, I don't see what all the,
I'm glad you
but
mentioned that, Becca, because and
me
Twinkle,
too.
because
Thank you, Becca.
it's misleading
Mm-hmm.
because like when they say, oh, 13 times more powerful than morphine, we have this idea like morphine's very strong compared to other
Right.
drugs. So if
Correct.
they're saying it's 13 times stronger than that, oh my God, this is
That's
bad.
right.
It's
Mm-hmm.
an interpretation, but it's become this huge talking point. Well, I'm gonna go do some research in that because I have
Excellent.
this video series I want to start making, and yeah, wait, I don't want to say anything just yet, but this first one I'm working on, ooh, gonna be like, because there's all this misconceptions and misunderstanding, about what people say about kratom that there is so inaccurate, but they become these talking points that you hear over and over, like kratom does this, kratom does that. It's like, show me your data that where did your data come from that shows that? Oh, well, I heard somebody say that. It's like, well,
Well,
okay,
that's just like with the
that's not the same
respiratory
thing.
depression that everybody is circulating about the 7-0.
Yeah.
That's not even, that was
It was
intravenously. That
it was a
was
study with
given.
rats. Yeah, intravenous
Yes,
with
and the
rats.
body is so tiny in a rat because even if they use a dog, and I don't like them to use a dog, I don't like it. But anyway, these are still animals that are anywhere between 15 pounds and 50, perhaps. And these were injected. These were not by consumption,
Right.
of somebody taking it. So that was misleading. That makes you think if you take your tiny nibble or even your whole half, or let's say it was even the 12 milligram whole tablet, because those are the ones I have are the 12. Let's say I took that 2 times, half and half, to consume the whole thing in a day. Oh my God, I'm not going to be able to breathe at night. And that's not true. That was injected. That was intravenous.
Right.
Not, and
Exactly.
so
Yeah, but there needs to be more research too. But Kathleen's making a great point here. She said, I
definitely.
really don't appreciate 7-OH being called synthetic kratom because it creates a bias in people's minds against whole leaf plant. 100%.
Right. Yeah.
100%.
That I
Yeah,
agree with.
they need to. They definitely need to explain the difference between
Yeah.
natural.
At least
and
one of them
synthetic.
said, I think it was a couple, the second one to the last you played or the one before that did say a derivative of,
Yeah.
little closer, but not quite good enough. But at least they seemed like they knew that it wasn't whole leaf. But she's absolutely right. You just got to
Yeah.
keep it away from the kratom tea and figure something out to say it some other way. I mean, to be honest, I don't know what I would call it if I was trying to do something formal. Is it a derivative? Is it extracted off of is it what? But we want to keep the tea safe and separate from 7-0.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
It really
Yeah.
bothers me too how they keep saying, now I think you should talk to your doctor, but they want doctors to be able to.
But doctors don't even know what it is most times.
Right.
And yeah, well, let's wait till a doctor can prescribe it. Well, that could take 10 years and billions of dollars.
Yeah,
And
it
there
still
are
wouldn't
some
benefit certain
things, there
people.
are some things that seem like are being done, but even if it comes to fruition, it would be a long, long time.
Yeah.
And it would be something completely different. It would not be the same as our powder.
No.
We just want to protect our powder. Do y'all want to keep watching a few more? I mean, I still have a couple more news stories. Y'all want to keep watching, or do y'all want to wrap up? I can say this. I feel so much better and lighter than when we started this almost 2 hours ago, after the kind of day I've had, being restricted on my YouTube. And I didn't even tell y'all. So TikTok took down, I did a post. Oh, they put it back up. I appealed it. Their AI is out of control. They put it back. I'm going to show y'all that. I couldn't believe their AI pulled this down. So let me show y'all what I did. Oh yeah, I got to show you this. So I had like the double whammy. So not only did I wake up to see that TikTok gave me a strike, removed a video, and said I cannot do anything for 2 whole weeks. That's why we're on Venus's YouTube. Thank you, Venus. I was so upset. So of course I went to TikTok and did a post, and I've never gotten in trouble just doing a text post ever. And in my anger, I typed this up, and it just says, I'm in trouble on YouTube again. This time is a 2-week timeout for talking about, and I just showed plant. The Kratom Gals live stream is still on for today. Not sure where yet. I thought nothing of this. I posted it and I went about my morning. In the description here, I wrote, join our private community where there's no censorship. I put no in all caps. To get there, tap on the Linktree link in the bio, go to Kratom Real Talk Forum. Thought nothing of it. Hours go by. And then I thought to go and back over to TikTok briefly before we started the live stream, and it showed it was taken down for community violation. I'm like, I was trying to think, what did I say? I just said that we would, they got in trouble on YouTube. What's the big deal? So I appealed it, but I kept thinking, why would the AI even take that down? But I appealed it, so apparently somebody went and looked at it. I mean, this again reconfirms what I've been saying. The AI on all these platforms are in hyper overdrive. And I guess they're targeting the word kratom for everything. Actually, but I didn't even say kratom because, I just did an emoji. I did the kratom with the number 8. So I guess maybe kratom with the number 8 is being flagged now.
Well, I'm wondering, didn't you say it said Kratom? Did you have the Kratom Real Talk link in the actual TikTok? Because I think that's what got me on Facebook.
No, I did the KR8TOM, but the thing is, I still have an account ban warning on my TikTok, and I've had it for months now. They won't remove it. Y'all don't see it, only the account owner does. Every time I go to my TikTok, let me show y'all, it's so stupid. Every time I go to my TikTok on my phone, account warning. It used to say account ban warning. Now it just says account warning. They won't remove it. And it's been there for months now. So I think they watch me more because of that. But yeah, they just restored the post 46 minutes ago. So 7 hours ago, we removed your post for violating our community guidelines. It was the AI because it did it almost immediately. Because when I came back hours later and I saw it was not there, and then I go into my notifications and it showed that they had done it pretty quickly after I posted it, because it'll show you the times. But now it says it's been restored 46 minutes ago. But when you appeal, then a person goes and looks at it. So the initial
Cassie said you can't say YouTube on TikTok, or you can't write YouTube on TikTok.
Some people have said that. I've heard about that being a thing, and I was wondering if I should say YouTube. But when you're mad and upset, you just want to you don't want to be censored, so you just go say it all, which is what I do. So I'm like, I don't care. But yeah, that's interesting, Cassie. Thank you for sharing that. I need to be better. Well, the thing is, like, I'm trying to be real. Yeah, you put YT, but I always feel like if I put YT, nobody will know what that means. I know it means YouTube, but do y'all know, like, if I put YT, you pretty much know that means YouTube?
I do.
It also
Okay.
means white.
I'll just start doing
It
that
also
now.
means white. In the internet lingo. So if you're talking about, well, basically it means white or white people. It means white people. But so just so you know that.
Yeah. Well, bottom line, I just feel so much better than when we first started this, because I was still very upset with YouTube, and I feel better now. All right, let's watch a few more videos, because y'all know I've always got videos.
Yay.
But these platforms, I'm just so fed up with all this censorship we're going through right now. It's ridiculous. Okay. This next one is out of Atlanta. They did a story, Kratom concern. Former users warn others of potential addiction. That's what this one is.
You see them on gas station shelves all over Metro Atlanta. Kratom, many use it to help with aches and pains, but a Georgia man says it nearly killed him.
Channel 2 investigative reporter Sophia Choi has the warning that he's sharing.
It's what happened at this Cobb County daycare that pushed this man to share his experience. We broke the story in August after paramedics had to use Narcan to revive a 2-year-old exposed to kratom left by a worker.
The whole thing has just been super emotional.
Glenn Eden started using kratom at 52 years old to soothe his shoulder pain. Kratom is the extract from the leaves of a tropical Southeast Asian tree. You can find it in liquid.
Wait a minute. They're showing capsules and saying kratom is the extract.
Yep.
Yep.
So much misinformation. Oh my God. Okay.
The leaves of a tropical Southeast Asian tree. You can find it in liquid and pill form at gas stations throughout Metro Atlanta. Eden saw it at this tequila gas station.
Made me feel good. It made me want to just continue.
And continue he did, upping the dosage for years. He ended up taking handfuls of pills, more than 100 a day.
I normally bought the 300
God.
count. You know, on the third day, I was back to buying.
Whose fault is this?
Right.
Whose
exactly.
fault?
And so he's taking the capsules, they're showing this. So then they show the bottle. So then was that an extract? Because I don't think that was 7.0, but they're showing, it's like, why not just tell the truth on whatever one he took and then to throw them all down in piles to make it,
Yeah, they're dramatizing this. Let's make
yes,
this just sound
yes,
something.
exactly.
But that guy is I think he just wants his 5 minutes of fame because he doesn't even deserve
ever.
15 minutes.
Ever.
Oh my
There's no-
God. Well, let's keep watching, but this one, we're only a minute in and I'm already pissed.
6 years and $100,000 later, Mr. Eden says his body started shutting down in January.
Wait a minute, $100,000 from powdered capsules?
Wow, there's no that I don't even believe it, but the stories people come up with.
God. Oh my
I
God.
was unable to have bowel movement. Urinating was extremely tough.
The DEA says kratom is addictive, and at high doses, it can produce opioid effects within 5 to 10 minutes. Last year, Georgia put restrictions on kratom. You must be 21 to buy, and it must be behind a counter. The FDA hasn't banned kratom, but it's now targeting a derivative of kratom called 7-0H. The American Kratom Association says it's 7-0H and other synthetic versions masquerading as natural kratom causing the problems. And many times, consumers don't know.
So if someone gets hooked on a kratom product that they believe is natural kratom, when the truth is that it's not.
Haddow is a kratom user. The former Department of Health and Human Services chief says it's safe if it's natural and people follow the recommended dose. Problem is, no one is regulating what's sold. He wants the synthetic versions banned.
At some point, that physical dependence becomes a psychological dependence.
Florida, along with 6 other states, banned 7-0H this year, saying the concentrated extract is dangerous.
We start to increase the risk of something happening, whether it be developing an addiction or abuse of that substance.
But 7-0H and other versions of kratom are still legal here in Georgia, where a growing number of users are needing help quitting and finding it through online support meetings. This Cobb County couple, Kelly and Christina Galindo, hold them weekly at kratomquitters.com after they kicked the habit themselves.
I have detoxed from heroin in county jails. I was detoxing off kratom with the love of my life, our cats, in our home, eating whatever I wanted, and it was worse.
We need to help as many people as we can. We need to spread as much awareness as we can.
Glenn Edis credits the online meetings for helping him stay off kratom. It took 12 days in rehab, followed by outpatient care to get him to quit. Now, he and his wife, Lisa, are on a mission to ban it altogether in Georgia.
I want them to think about what it will do to them, not what that it could do, that it will do.
The DEA announced in 2016 it planned to categorize kratom as a Schedule I drug, essentially making it illegal. But after public input showed support to keep it legal, it dropped that plan. The DEA is now considering that Class 1 designation again for 7-0H.
Oh my God. Those people were super dramatic.
Said they were accustomed to heroin, but they had to go to treatment or something for kratom. So if you were trying to somehow, use one to equal the, you'd have to be taking a lot of kratom, which means you were abusing it anyway.
Right.
And then this man, he looks like he's unwell.
They were all addicts.
From
They
one
were
way or
all
another. Right. And so
all
once
of them.
again, because they've done something wrong, other people should pay for it.
Exactly. And you know, it goes back to watching Claudia's TikTok earlier. It's this cycle. You know, it was with the pharmaceuticals. Now it's happening in the
Yep.
kratom industry with this. And they're demonizing. They weren't talking about 7-OH. They're talking about whole leaf kratom powder. And look how they're demonizing it.
Yep.
And that we're all addicted or will get addicted. Oh my God, give me a break.
Yeah, I
It's
still
not a
can't
matter
imagine.
of when, it's you will.
Oh,
I
that
mean,
pissed
like,
me off. That's so, God, so
Yeah, you don't
ridiculous.
spend that $100,000 on kratom powder.
No.
You
no,
don't
probably
need to
out
go
there doing
into.
something else and taking something else, and then kratom is the fall guy for
Right.
it, so that they
Right.
can lead other people to believe I only got addicted to this natural plant, this natural powder. It's minimizing. That's what people do when they're in active addiction. They tell stories. They try to pacify themselves and others and minimize and who knows what else. I mean, you know, they
Yeah.
know.
Mhm. Yep, and I think that saying the plain leaf powder sounds better, even if like in between they're taking the other stuff, and the other stuff is what actually is causing the problem. I think they'll also
They
Yeah.
want people
also
to
blame
believe it's
kratom.
the plain leaf, right?
Yeah.
But they want people, they're intentionally doing that so that, you know, maybe their families or their friends or whoever won't think lower of them because of their addiction. So they
Yeah.
have to pass it off as being something very mild that caused this to happen to them.
Right.
And since it's not that often, it's just them. You know what I mean? So it kind of.
But $100,000, wow, that can't even be true. I
Yeah.
mean, you weren't taking
With
no tea
her-
for 100,000. You had to have been doing massive extracts, maybe 7-0 or something else out there in the world, and then just calling it, just blaming it all on one thing.
Yeah. I'd like to
Yeah.
see the receipts. I'd have to see the receipts. that
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. Show us the exactly. I love that, Venus. You're so right. Oh, Kathleen says it well. Sensationalized journalism is what we're up against. Exactly. That was a ridiculous story. Let's do one more news story and then we'll wrap up. This one is Salt Lake City. I'm telling y'all, these all came out this week. Like there was just so many news stories related to kratom and 7-OH. This one says former addict calls for stricter regulation of gas station heroin in Utah. Here we go.
It's being called gas station heroin, and one Utah man's story illustrates why.
Now lawmakers say they regret legalizing kratom and they're pushing now to ban it. 2 News investigates Ariel Harrison shows us how easy it is to get and why it's back on the state's radar.
I crack it like an idiot and just drink it.
It started with a free sample at an Ogden gas station drive-through.
Like a half hour later, I felt like I took 2 Percocet 10s.
Dustin Hawkins had been sober from opiates for 7 years, but he says that one bottle of kratom changed everything.
I just never had anything so accessible. Like I never had Percocet 10s on the gas station shelf. That's the way my brain linked it up.
Within a week and a half, Hawkins was consuming, he says, 10 bottles a day at $10 each.
No, I mean, it ran I'm $100 a day out of the gas station. I mean, if I drink one, it's like.
So yet again, whose fault is this?
Abuse. Right
Whose
away,
fault is this?
abuse. And then is everybody else's fault.
Yep.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Like,
Keep going.
I want another one. And then you drink that one. I want another one. You know what I'm saying? And I can get it because it's legal and it's in the gas station.
He says kratom affected him just like prescription opiates, but because it sold legally in stores, it felt safer because of where and how it was available.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
So
Now-
the addict line needs to chase. There's a process.
Right.
You crave it. You need to chase. You need to wait for. Well, they used to sort of call it like the weed man. But let's say whoever your person is, that you get something else. And I'm leaving weed out of it. I'm not bringing weed up. I'm just saying there's like sayings that people they're waiting on their
Yeah.
their provider who.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying. And then there's
Right.
this chase process of waiting, getting excited. Your receptors are lighting up over the chase and all this. So now he can go in and just buy it, cuts out half of what he was accustomed to. He could have it on hand. There's nothing to do but go pay for it. And then he starts abusing them and having to have more and taking more. That's mental health. He
Yes.
needs treatment.
Just like the
That's not
previous
product.
one.
Yes, that's not the product. It's not these items.
Right.
The same as alcohol.
Exactly.
Right.
But
Or
here's the thing.
cigarettes,
This
or
is Salt Lake City, Utah, and they kind of barely said it at the beginning. Utah has a KCPA. They were the first state to pass a federal or a state Kratom Consumer Protection Act, KCPA. Now, my understanding with these KCPAs is there a limit to what can be in these products. Now, I know Feel Free had to make some changes, and they kept showing the Feel Frees. I don't know what Utah's exact KCPA. I mean, I think they're all just close. I don't know if they're all exactly worded the same, but my understanding is like these extracts would have to fall in line with the specifications in there. So I'm just not really clear on all of this. Like the whole, I think, purpose of KCPAs were to make sure we have safe products on the shelves.
Right. And isn't the amount, the percentage, isn't there a percentage for
I think I'm
Sentinel
pretty
already in
sure.
the KCPA?
And the mint, I think, right?
Yeah.
Do you know, Becca? I might have to go
Yes,
look up
there
that
is,
one.
and I want to say it's under 2%, but I want to say
I think
that
that's a
he's also
7 though.
trying to edit it as well or make it lower because really in natural tea it's only
I'm gonna go find their
very little, like
KCPA.
0.01%.
Well, okay, I just found their KCPA. I just looked up the actual. Let me bring this.
and
Well,
Craig's absolutely right. That's exactly right.
yeah, about the accountability.
They just
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's finish. I'll tell you what, we'll finish this news story, but then I found the KCPA for Utah. They were the first to do it. It was in 2019. We should go through it to see because it'll list all the parameters of like how much of everything can be in the product. And if obviously they feel in that state that this is safe because they have a law for this. So they can't say there's no regulation in Utah. There is regulation in Utah. Are they enforcing it? I don't know. But doesn't it feel like there should be a higher standard for Utah because they've passed a KCPA in their state? I mean, I don't know. I'm just confused by all this. Like what, now they're going to go ban Kratom in Utah with a KCPA in place?
It makes no sense, especially with the senator there that actually signed the KCPA letter. He was, I think, actually brought it out.
Yeah,
The
Bramble.
Pecan, Bramble, it was the Pecan, and I forget the other.
Well, Bramble is Utah. No, Pocan is Wisconsin. That I
Didn't they
think
call it a letter like that, like the Pecan
they,
say something.
well, that was for I think trying to get a federal KCPA.
Okay.
But that, we don't have federal yet. But Pocan, I think, has gotten stuff done in his state. But Bramble is Utah, and he was the one that brought the sponsor for this. Well, let's finish this one, then we'll go look at the KCPA and see what we can uncover.
We went to a handful of Salt Lake and Weber County gas stations and easily purchased Kratom products. In one instance, we were not ID'd.
Usually there was a barrier to get drugs like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to go to a doc, you had to get a script. Now I can go get something that's 2 minutes from my house.
Hawkins says the addiction took over his life and landed him in detox 4 different times before finally entering treatment.
You're openly saying,
Yeah.
I regret that vote.
I do. I wish I hadn't.
State Senator Mike McKell says stories like Hawkins are why he now regrets voting to legalize Kratom in Utah years ago.
They've made the product far more dangerous And I think for the public, alarm bells should be going off.
But manufacturers say that's not true for all products.
Kratom is not a drug. It is a natural product. Kratom's been around for centuries.
Brandon McLaren with DBZ Enterprises LLC says his company's brands K-Chill and Cryptic Kratom are registered with the state and test below legal limits for 7-hydroxy, the synthetic version in question.
The science is there to show that Kratom by itself is not addictive. It's no more addictive than a cup of coffee.
However, lawmakers like McKell still want action, starting with banning that synthetic version 7.0.
And if we can get that done by the end of the year, that'll make me feel a lot better for now. I do think we need to ban Kratom entirely.
The American Kratom Association agrees 7.0 should be banned, but not Kratom, saying bad actors are making dangerous products that don't represent the industry.
What is a problem for these highly concentrated 7-OH products is that they have flipped the content of the product so that the majority of it is 7-OH in a highly concentrated form, not the naturally occurring levels.
But for Justin Hawkins, getting Kratom off store shelves can't happen soon enough.
I'd like to see it banned, for sure. Like, why does that need to be in the stores?
Now, Hawkins shared with me that the version of Kratom he took was not the synthetic 7-hydroxy, and he still struggled with an addiction to it, comparing its effects to opioids. As lawmakers prepare to debate a possible ban here in Utah, coming up tomorrow on 2 News This Morning, I speak with anchor Mary Nichols to share more on why the American Kratom Association claims certain products are safe according to federal findings.
Oh my
They probably paying people to
God.
be on there and tell the story against the T2.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
always had an uncomfortable feeling they were going after both and they were just throwing up smoke screens. I was hoping that wasn't going to be true, but that just can't be possible for regular tea. I mean, I actually could see it for somebody taking an abundance of 7-OH, but not for regular whole leaf kratom tea. Not unless you were abusing it so extremely and taking hundreds of grams a dose, and you know what it is? They're addicted to the chase. He don't have no chase anymore because he could go into the store and get it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
the chocolate, exercise, other things also light up those receptors. The cheese we've talked about, and the chase is lighting up those receptors.
Yeah.
You know, they're getting high before they put anything into their body. And I don't mean to be, you know, off-putting, or I hope it doesn't come off as rude to anybody, because it's true. I mean, it's just true. I've seen it enough. I've known it enough. I've studied it enough. I've been studying stuff like that for over 30 years, 40 years. So that doesn't make me a know-it-all by any means, but there's a lot that goes to that's a part of addiction,
Well, that rep
real addiction.
that claimed like he regretted his vote,
That's sad.
it is sad because he knows that they passed a KCPA and there's regulation built into it. I found it just by doing a Google search. I just typed in Utah KCPA. So this was in 2019, and I looked up to see, I mean, they do mention like the age requirements, which that's on the store where, you know, when she said we weren't even carded. Well, first of all, lady, you look like you're old enough. So maybe they decided not to, but it's really small print here, but I saw it a moment ago. It did mention the 2%. So when they're talking about the products being stronger, they just need it. Here it is. Containing a level of 7-hydroxy in the alkaloid fraction that is greater than 2% of the alkaloid composition. So a lot of those products would not be legal with a KCPA in that state. So why aren't they enforcing this? And that rep should know that, being that he voted on this in 2019. So I don't know. This is incredibly frustrating. But if anybody wants to read the actual KCPA in Utah, just go and Google it. It has all the details.
He should be following up with the regulation and making sure that what it says in the KCPA, what he voted for,
Yeah.
is being enforced.
Right, because a lot of those products wouldn't be on the shelves. The 708, the semi-synthetic products would not be on the shelves. But as the reporter reminded us, this guy's talking about regular Kratom. Well, that guy has a problem with Kratom. So with all the stints he had in recovery centers, I'm sure they're paying him good to go, go do all this.
I mean,
talking.
imagine the opioid receptors that light up when cheese, not just cheese, but the gooier, it's melty, it's stringy, just looking at it, I mean, ding, 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 ding. And I mean, so it happens to other things that have nothing to do with drugs or, holistic remedies or anything like that. It's just there. Sex for some people. Look at the hit people take for that. I mean, it's the excitement, it's the buzz, it's the, it can happen very naturally.
Agree 100%.
Yep. And I definitely feel it when I'm eating my cheese. Definitely.
Well, yeah. And then if you have a piece of pizza,
chocolate for me,
the cheese is hanging off and it's all good. We're excited for that minute. Can't wait to take a bite. Chocolate, dark chocolate actually is a natural pain reliever. Dark chocolate is. It's a,
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's what they say it is. It's never relieved it can't be regular chocolate but it has to be natural. Dark chocolate is a natural pain reliever.
Well, regular chocolate is definitely a nice mood helper for me. Because before we started this, I told you I was all riled up. I had to have my reishi gummies earlier than normal because it's pretty upsetting when you find out you can't post on YouTube for 2 weeks because their AI didn't like something you posted, and then TikTok removing a post because again their AI didn't like it, and I just felt like everything was against me today right before starting the Kratom Gals. So I had to have some chocolate. I took my reishi gummies, had some lunch. I was looking at this chocolate bar. I'm like, I'm going to have a little bit because it'll make me feel better and it'll calm me before I love
and it
chocolate.
makes you happy and it soothes
100%. And am I a chocoholic? Exactly. Yes, I am a chocoholic. So what?
Yeah.
I'm not addicted to my Kratom. So it's all perspective. I think that was our word of the day. Thank you, Rebecca, for that. Is perspective. It's all about perspective. So Venus, let's see what you put. I was also upset when hubby got icky Halloween candy instead of chocolate. You're going through it. I bet where's the chocolate?
Oh, I did. I was like, nobody eats that candy. They bring it home. The parents eat it. He's like, I like it. And I said, see? I said, I do not.
My dad used to, and then my dad, when we were children, they always checked the candy first. And sometimes he would play, like we knew he had to have been fibbing sometimes. He'd say he wasn't sure if one was all the way opened or not, or come up. He was stashing it for himself. But we actually carried that on to our children. We always checked their candy first, anything that looked like it might have been tampered. But we always got some out of their candy either way, but the Halloween candy's the big hit. That makes me, that's good memories. It reminds me of my parents being alive and, good times. But,
remember when they even used to x-ray it? You could take it to the hospital.
Yeah.
X-ray them.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Well, it's been a great hangout as always. Nice having you ladies here. We've had a lot of cool friends hanging out in the live chat with us all afternoon. And sorry for the confusion about moving us from Kratom Stories Podcast YouTube over to Venus's YouTube. It was beyond our control.
Cool how many people made it over here,
Well, because they knew to go to the Kratom Stories Podcast one, and what we learned last time several weeks ago is even though I can't post over there, I can comment in the chat. So I put the link to Venus's YouTube in the chat, and that's how. So I appreciate y'all going over there looking for us because I couldn't notify y'all. YouTube wouldn't let me do anything. This all happened this morning. So it's just like last time, but instead of a 1 week timeout, they gave me a 2 week timeout. But for anybody that got here late, let me show you all real quick. I did set up another YouTube. I can't post to it yet is what they're telling. You got to give you have to wait 24 hours before you can live stream on a new YouTube channel. But I did set up Kratom Real Talk, and that will be my backup. And it does look just like, let me show you all this real quick so you'll know. So be sure to go subscribe to my new one, and that's where we should be next week if everything works. And then we'll be back to our regular 2 weeks from today. But if you just go into YouTube and type in Kratom Real Talk, now it might get a little confusing because look, I typed in Kratom Real Talk at the top there, and I put the same logo because why not? At least you'll go, oh, I recognize that logo. So see the one how it says Kratom Real Talk. So go. But look, Kratom Stories Podcast is intact. Much for coming over here and hanging out with me. It's all the same. Everything's still there. You can see everything. I can't post anything new, and I can't upload anything. So our live stream is not going to be there. It will be there in a few weeks when this this timeout gets lifted. I'll put these 2 live streams in there. But what I want you to do is go to Kratom Real Talk, and I did a test this morning. I was able to upload a YouTube short. They just don't let you live stream right away. So it's at Kratom Real Talk. See, here's the username right here, at Kratom Real Talk. So you can either type in Kratom Real Talk or go to youtube.com/@Kratom Real Talk. So the plan is but backup scenario, go over to Venus. So you might as well subscribe to Venus too. We will be somewhere next week, no doubt, and the week after. But the plan will get us live streaming over there. So I hope y'all found all this helpful. It's just, we're in this climate right now where there's so much censorship, and it's just a reminder to come join us at Kratom Real Talk over on the school platform because there's no censorship there. I don't want to live stream the show there because it's completely private, and with this being public, other people can discover us. I mean, if this wasn't public, many of you here would have never found us. So I don't want to make it completely private in our school community, but we do have other conversations that are private in there, like our Kratom Real Talk support group, which we'll be doing tomorrow, by the way. So come join us tomorrow afternoon. We do that every Thursday and Sunday at 3:00 Eastern. So mark your calendar. So if you are not part of our school community, just go to kratomrealtalk.com and sign up. Just takes a moment to do. It's free. And we have great discussions. And our support group is different from this. We just hang out and chat. It's like a Zoom call, but it's private. Like, let's just chat. Let's answer questions.
And I'll try to get in there tomorrow. The following Sunday, I won't be home on time because we're doing our church Thanksgiving lunch. So, but I'll try to be in tomorrow. All the holidays are coming up, so we have the functions to attend.
Hard to believe it's almost holiday time.
I know. It's just.
I know.
It gets here fast after Halloween, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It just flies up.
And last year and the year before, I put my little tabletop Christmas tree up on Halloween. I haven't yet this year, but I plan to anytime. I mean, I haven't put the big one up for many years because the kids are no one's at home anymore. But I do like my tabletop, and I just like the lights and stuff. I just like it to be the reminder that it is the time of the year. And sometimes I do that early just so that I can enjoy the lights and stuff. So
yeah,
a little early for Halloween, but do it.
That's
soon.
okay.
Yeah, if it makes you feel
and
good.
it's just the tabletop. Exactly, it's just the tabletop.
You're making me think I want to put mine up. So
yeah.
That's awesome. Well, shout out to all the people watching us on X. We have majority of the people are watching. We have like 71 people are watching us on X right now. We're over on Christopher's X channel. Yeah, there's something interesting about X where you'll get lots of. I think their algorithm just does that. You get a lot of people.
And I could never
people
figure
come
out
and go.
the comments. I don't get comments on X.
It doesn't.
So I don't know how
So we don't do we mostly the comments are our YouTube community. I think on X, I'm speculating, but I think it's just grabbing people in the algorithm that I guess are interested in kratom or plant medicine or who knows what. And I'm sure people are coming and going the whole time. So we don't really get much conversation coming out of X, but people are watching us over there. And it's constant.
I
We
would
always
have
have a
been
lot of people
curious
watching.
to go back and read the comments, but I don't even know where there are comments.
Well,
Like under my share, there's
yeah.
nothing, not even a regular comment. I peeked on because I'm actually running Christopher's right here. I'm
But they're
watching
just not
both.
commenting. They're just
They're
people.
just not
They're just
okay.
not
Because I
commenting.
didn't know if it.
No,
All right.
because Todd Underwood commented on X earlier. Plus, in StreamYard, we
Yeah.
can
So
see
I
because
wasn't
these are
sure
all.
how he could have.
Well, yeah, he was watching us on X, so he
Oh,
commented
I
that he was in
see.
X.
Oh, okay.
So I think with X,
Okay.
people just kind of randomly pop in and pop out, and it's just.
Yeah,
But
that
the
could be.
their algorithm shows live streams really well. Like so, like if I'm in X, yeah, it'll show it. So I think it just attracts more attention, and that's why there's always more viewers. It's same thing with my
Okay.
other live streams that I do. I do other live streams like business stuff, and same thing. It's always the majority of the people are X. Anyway, all right. I think we need to wrap up with our anthem song today. The "You Can't Ban My Roots" because it's one of those kind of days. Today's an anthem day because we're pretty fed up with all the censorship we're dealing with.
We are. We're fed up.
These-
Perfect. It's my
I-
favorite.
Big songs. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it makes me think of that Twisted Sister song. We're not going to take it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yeah.
I mean I'd play that, but you get in trouble when you played licensed music like that on YouTube. So, but it's like we're not going to take this anymore. We're done with this. So we'll have our anthem close us out. We'll be back we'll do the Kratom Gals every week, y'all. One way or the other. We'll be here. And just remember, we will not be on my YouTube channel. We'll be on hopefully my backup channel.
And I'll always share wherever we're at onto Twitter. So when I find out, I'll put it straight onto Twitter as well.
Yeah, cool. Appreciate that. All right. Well,
Thank you all for joining us.
Yeah, thank you all for joining us. As the song says, you can't ban my roots. That is for sure. So we'll see y'all soon. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
You can't ban roots, nah, 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 nah. You can't ban my truth, nah, 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 nah. Hey, Florida, we see the game. HB 1489, not today. Natural leaf, ancient tree. Now they wanna make it a felony. Nah, we ain't playing that corporate tune. Kratom's the voice of 1,000 moons. From the fields to the streets to the healing hands, you can't kill what the earth commands. They assess certification, regulation, tricks. Just another play to make the people sick. They write the rules, we break the chains. Your lobby games won't own our brains. One voice, one fight, we rise tonight. You can't ban my roots. I'm a child of the storm. I was born to be free. I ain't bending no more. You can't break my truth. You can write your lies, but the people rise. No 1489. Mail orders ban, remote sales cut. Who's that help? Big pharma's gut. They don't want plants, they want pills. They don't want cures, they want bills. But guess what? We ain't that dumb. Shout this message till the war is won. Kratom's our anthem, Kratom's our right. HB 1489, we fight tonight. They write the rules, we break the chains. Your lobby games won't own our brains. One voice, one fight, we rise tonight. You can't ban my roots. I'm a child of the storm. I was born to be free. I ain't bending no more. You can't break my truth. You can write your life.